so you better not miss. And we only get stronger with everything I carry up on my back. You should paint it up with a target. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come get your spoiler, but we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you calling my name. You ought to know by now that we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up. Take a lap now, don't be mad now. Run it back, run it back. I got bodies lining up, think you're dreaming of greatness. Send you back home, let you wake up. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come get your spoiler, but we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you calling my name. You ought to know by now that we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.在以后，除了傻傻子，还有其他吗？我左右，键盘琵琶在时间滴答着，还不够。你的固执让我来守候，哪怕太迟也不想以后。就在这时放肆的挑逗。I got the heart of a lion, I know the harder you climb, the harder you fall. I'm at the top of the mountain, too many bodies to count. I've been through it all. I had to weather the storm to get to the level I'm on. That's how the legend was born. All of my enemies already dead. I'm born, I'm ready for war. They know I'm ready for war. I told them we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you calling my name. You ought to know by now that we're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away. But you always knew that you'd be the one that would while they all played. And you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change
Hey guys, welcome back again to the VLS. Week 7 last season, last week of the regular season. You're joined today by a new face in myself.
Guess
Your
who's back?
local.
CG's back. Guess who's back?
CG's also back.
CG's back. Guess who's back? CG's back. Guess who's back? CG's back. V6 is here too. Yeah.
Gurf,
So
early highlighting the matchup for us. Gurf, how you doing this evening?
I'm great. Another night of VLS. Last week of regulation of the season here. So yes, CG is in fact back again on our stream for the third week in a row. But it is going to be excellent to see because honestly, it's been quite fun. Getting to observe them, getting to analyze them, a little bit of critique here and there, but also seeing those highlight moments from this team. And also, we get V6. We haven't seen them since week 1. Well, technically, you guys haven't seen them since week 1. I saw them a couple weeks back at Viper's Pit. Great group of players there. So I'm very excited to see how they match up. And big stakes for this V6 team tonight. Suga, what are you thinking about this matchup we're going to see this evening?
I don't really know what to think about it. Like, this could go like one of two ways. We see V6 Academy pull off a shock win, or CG take a dominant 2-0 win. So I don't really know what to think of it. And according to recent results, I'm leaning more towards CG coming out with a 2-0 win.
Okay. So we got strong opinions, mostly in one direction. We'll have to see how that does turn out. First off, though, I think it is, being the last week of the regular season, I think it's important that we take a look at the standings across the league. So we'll hit that up first. If you would, production, help, please.
Here, if I wave my hand, Sash.
Oh, it's
We
okay.
think
I'm
about it.
channeling
We can chat about it for a little bit too, right? Because we were kind of thinking, and of course, CG coming back, one of our top teams here in Group B. They're sitting pretty, 5-1. They are, I think, for sure locked into playoffs at this point. It's a question though tonight: is it going to be a for sure lock in that second place, or is there some head to head that we need to be aware of in terms of Diplo sitting there at 5-2? Since they have completed their game. So I'm just going to do a quick scan here, just scanning across the board to see how that series went against Diplo. Oh, okay. So even if they do take a loss tonight, still going to be sitting pretty, going second into playoffs. So looking like they're aiming to go against Team Flare next week in those best of fives, which is going to be absolutely a banger to see when those kick into place. I got to prepare the voice for when we get to there. But yeah, we should be able to see them in just a little bit. But at this point, some of these teams have actually completed completed some of their series. Some of them have completed their week 7 games already. So we've got for sure lock-ins for a few of these.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the only one that really seems to be up to debate is over here with Team Syndicate and V6 Academy. Sugar, though, any thoughts on the standings thus far? You've seen a lot more of the league than I have.
No, not really. Obviously, Akuma have locked in their spot for first place. They've been absolutely dominant from last season up until this season, not dropping a single map. And they're gonna look to continue that dominance into playoffs. I would have hoped that we would have saw a game from Diplo because they've been like quietly like sneaking their way like into that top 3 position, and there's been no noise about them. So I wanna see what all the raw is about them if we do end up streaming them in playoffs. Group A is a little bit more interesting to me because obviously you have the top 4 teams. You have BZ, who are undefeated, just like Akuma in their own group, sitting in that first place spot. Then you have second, third, and fourth. Fourth and fifth, I believe, is still being contested for between Hunters Gaming, Crimson, and TKS. And that is a HTC was actually a team that we saw like a few weeks ago, and they took a pretty heavy loss against BZ. And that was a crazy game. That has some surprises for me. I was not prepared to see in the agent selection and also in the gameplay itself.
Absolutely. So not too many stakes left to determine playoffs except for this match that we got for you tonight. So gonna be
Yeah.
super hype. I'm excited to see what these players do end up trying to pull off. But let's get more closely in depth on these teams right now. CG really looking like the favorite in this one.
Yeah, it's tough when you match up the numbers, and you know what? We're gonna get to another graphic later tonight, and I'm gonna explain a little bit why some of the numbers might look not as boasted over on V6, but just the raw data that we're working with, right? It's kind of glaring what we see over on CG, over our KDA, overall plants, overall diffuses per game. It is quite staggering for Cataclysm what they've been able to pull off, and a big one that's going to stand out to me, and I think that is going to show its face here on these maps we see tonight, is going to be that average combat score. What is going on out there? How well you are doing and performing across the board. So I'm very interested to see, can V6 keep up with this, I would say, titan of a team? And of course, what does that mean? Is it going to be, going toe to toe? Are we going to see some mirror matches ups, or do V6 have something in store, something that they've practiced that can maybe catch Cataclysm by surprise? That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe some secret picks, secret agents that we don't get to see very frequently, because that's what I think might be needed in order to get the upper hand here for this match tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you think about what V6 Academy can do, and that's just do the unexpected. If you don't know what you're doing, then your opponents don't know what you're doing. Obviously, that is a jest. You should know what you're doing, because if you don't, then you will lose miserably. But for V6 Academy, I mean, we look at their stats and all that stuff, and obviously, I do have CG to be their favorite, so it's no secret as to who I'm predicting. But also, I mean, you mentioned ACS. I'm looking at their economy score, and I'm even more scared, because that shows that they have a average economy score of 47. That's not good. That's not even average. So how are they doing in their save rounds? How are they doing in their full buys? Are they losing their full buys and thrifties? Are they investing correctly? What's going on there? We have to get into the macros and into the micros of V6 Academy, because that is what separates the top teams from the bottom teams. And we've seen that with Akuma. We've seen it with Cataclysm. It's going to be a ride for sure today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the thing that stood out the most when I was getting some prep done, is that these teams overall, they look like they want to play very similar styles. They look like they have very similar map pools.
Mm-hmm.
But there are just a couple standout players on Cataclysm that really stand out. Like you said, especially when it comes to that KDA. Right now, Grim has the second highest in the league at 2.91 KDA. And I believe that's Leozen?
Ooh, Leo's back
Leo!
again. Oh, Kev, wait till you get to see Leo tonight. One of the most insane clutch 1v, as you put it, Sugar, last week, 1vx player. Honestly, I've seen them turn around so many rounds before. It's just so calm under that pressure. So yeah, making this graphic tonight, I kind of went for those players who have been the most present throughout this split. Just a little note there on the asterisks you do see for the maps played for the V6 players up on the board here. They are 6-6, as we saw in the previous graphic in the team matchups, but total maps played is 9. So one of those maps we did not see, or one of those scores, come from actually FFing because of being late to one of their series. So that was a loss to V6, but they got an FF back, so picked up 2 wins. And then the fourth one that we're missing, well, that's because of me back in week 1 when I did a little bit of an oopsies setting up the lobby and might have messed with the stats a little bit. So this is coming from I think 8 maps of statistics that we're pulling these numbers from. So again, just taking these with a grain of salt. But again, some pretty impressive numbers out there, especially on the side of CG. We got just a window in here, but there are so many other players that we could mention too that aren't on this graphic. And Sugar, you and I have seen a lot of incredible stuff from the CG squad.
Yeah, I am obviously a really big fan of Leo. I think the reason why is because of the way that he plays, his controllers. very aggressive with the way that he wants to play his controls, a lot more aggressive than your typical controller, and he displayed that against Akuma, but he also displayed that last week against Team Syndicate. Another player who I'm also a really big fan of, actually two more players, is and Nine. Also, I like everybody on this team, but especially Nine, who I literally was like, yo, put some respect on his name, because he actually had a good match on Icebox, and it was just a matter of like CG not really working too well together and Akuma finding their footing towards the end of that map. But again, you can look at anybody on CG, and any one of those players can pull a multi-kill out of the bag. You look at V6 Academy, we have Danny and Melly up here, who do have some decent stats, but you match them up against the likes of, well, Danny, because his main role is a duelist, he plays Raze, and so does they both have the same type of stats, even though the stats are kind of like meh right now. And then you look at Melly versus Grimmer, and Grimmer obviously has the upper hand. So I don't know for the rest of V6 Academy, but like for CG, I already have something in mind for what they want to do and how effective they are at it.
Yeah, and that's something that I really noticed when I was doing my prep for this CG squad. They really have a style of composition that they like to play with their characters. They like to have, a couple initiators, a controller, and then a duelist and a sentinel. It seems like a lot of chamber coming through for this squad in the back there. Whereas V6, they like to switch things up a lot. So I think that is possibly an angle back into this series for them. Definitely, I think a highlight that something spicy could come out. I know I'm rooting for my personal favorite one trick, Hebbo. Much like in League, I also have a one trick in Valorant. No one plays Sage though, apparently. So don't think that one will come out. But I'm definitely excited to see what V6 can concoct to maybe surprise Cataclysm in this series. The other thing I think important to talk about is map pools. Gurf, any inclinations towards what maps we might be seeing tonight?
I mean, the old favorite here, VLS, is our old buddy Ascent. It's am I wrong in saying that? There's a lot of games on Ascent. Like we see it very frequently. A lot of teams tend to favor this one, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we see that coming out. Generally, we've seen Fracture and Pearl kind of on the sideline, which is unfortunate. I'd love to see a little bit more Pearl up in here. I know VRS, they got themselves a Pearl game. We haven't gotten a Pearl game on stream yet, so fingers crossed. But yeah, the big ones, Ascent, Haven, and Bind usually is what we are gonna end up saying. Maybe switch one of those out for an Icebox. It's just the old classics. It's what these players know in and out. They know their lineups. They know where they have to set up util, and they know exactly, well, not just one, but multiple ways of actually setting up plays for their teams. Especially, you were discussing what kind of comps that these teams have been putting together. Cataclysm and V6 have definitely run these maps, have definitely run different comps and found ones that work best for them. So keep things easy, go to maps that you know well, and that's where you can kind of pick and choose what agents you're actually going to go for. But that's what I would expect is those three. Maybe nice box. Fingers crossed for a Pearl.
Okay. Thoughts? Map pools? Anything different? Are we going to see a Pearl tonight?
Fingers crossed, but I completely doubt it. If there is a Pearl, then it's usually like the decider map, and we've only had one serious reach. Like in all of the weeks that we've had like what 7 weeks. This being the 7th week. On VLS Valorant, I would be extremely surprised if we end up getting a Pearl, because we haven't really had a Pearl. We only had a Pearl played once in VLS, but it was off stream. So, unlucky for us. Unlucky that they decided to schedule their game when we were not going to be streaming it. But I don't know. I completely doubt it. I do want to talk about Ascent a little bit, because V6 Academy have a history on Ascent. And it's not a good one. It's not a good history for Ascent. Whereas if we compare that history to Cataclysm Gaming's, they have a really good history on Ascent. They have played it a total of 4 times, and they've won it 3 times, only lost it once. And they lost it last week against Team Syndicate, where they had a really good lead on the defense. Then they started to lose that lead on the defense, and they completely dropped the ball on the attack. And for V6 Academy, I believe they played it a total of 4 times. They only won it once. I think the percentage for that is like 16%. So not really a good record. And I hope that if they do go to Ascent, if they do decide to leave that open for Cataclysm Gaming to pick, that they have a plan. That they watch the VODs and they prep for it fully. But if they go to Ascent, I'm gonna be very, very afraid for them. That's all. Yeah, that's about it. I'm very scared for Ascent, and it looks like we already got the map bans up.
Well, there you go. Just about what I expected. It seems like, yep.
Oh,
And we are
man.
going to go straight to bot, which I am a little bit shocked by, considering I went and took a look at the match history, and it seemed pretty straightforward, for both of these teams that Haven is their favorite map, as that is going to come through, for DG there. Thoughts?
Again, a little disappointed, but not surprised that Pearl and Fracture are the first ones that get the guillotine there. But Bind's a fun map. There's a lot of interesting setups you can do with this, especially if you decide to go with any teleporter plays. And again, something I'm hoping from V6 tonight is play something a little bit abstract, play something that can get in the minds of CG, because we know CG is such a solid team, super duper consistent. So you need to do something to break that consistency. And I'm hoping to see that here on Bind. Haven though, CG picking that one up. That is a quite the large map. And CG, something we were talking about the past couple of weeks we've casted them is, you know, there are some rounds where we see them taking it super slow, but the rounds where they turn it on, the rounds that they get a little aggressive, is the ones that work out so well for them. So maybe that is why they're choosing Haven here, because there are a lot more opportunities, a lot more open map here to say, okay, we can go on C super hard. As long as we have the information of where the other team is. Site's not specific, but more just an example of, you know, if they've got an opening, if they know they have that information, they can play to their strengths.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I also want to add on to that a little bit. Bind and Haven. Bind is an okay map for V6 Academy according to statistics. Haven, not so much. They played it 3 times and they've never won it at all. So they do not have a win rate whatsoever on this map. And that could be down to a number of reasons. We won't really get into that until we get into Haven itself. Icebox, V6 Academy have never played this map, whereas for CG, we did see them play it against Akuma. We also saw them play it last week against Team Syndicate, where they had a rough start to the game, and then as they slowly started to regain their pace, they took a time out. They started to get some momentum back. So like, Icebox is a 50, not a 50-50 map, but they do have a good win rate on it nonetheless. So I don't know. Bind, I'm kind of excited for. Haven, not so much, knowing V6 Academy's really bad history on it compared to CG's, who have a 100% win rate, having played it 3 times and winning it 3 times. So I don't know. I'm very scared for Haven, but Bind, I'm very excited for. I think both of these teams can pull some new stuff out of the bag. And I mean, we do have a new patch. I was hoping to talk about that maybe when we get into Agent Select, but we might see some funny stuff like Arena, Yoru, something that we don't usually see as often.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, you know, with a few changes to these flashing champions. Unfortunately, we don't get to see them changes to Fracture tonight, because that was going to be the other big point. I was like, oh, hey, they made all these changes to Fracture. Doesn't matter, because we are going to see it. I'm curious, Sugar, what you're thinking in terms of, like, are we going to see some of these players pick some other champs? Are we going to see something that's kind of making its way into the meta now on 5.07 that is maybe taking the place of another champion that maybe isn't as ideal with these changes on the new patch?
I could totally see us not seeing Sky as much, considering the fact that they did take away her abilities to solo flash, to pop flash, as effectively as she used to. And the same thing goes for Kale. Kale doesn't get played a lot on Bind anyways. It's usually Sky who's the main flashing initiator on Bind. But I feel like if we are going to see some flashing agents on the map, then it might just be sorry about that. It might just be either Reina or Yoru, or maybe even both. I've seen teams as of recently, after the new patch came out, running a double duelist, and it's either been Yoru or Reina being so. Might be
I
some
got
flashy
smoked
stuff.
by both of them, not like dropping a smoke, like smoke today by Arena and a Yoru. So yeah. I could see it. I could see it.
I'll just sit over here and hope that on Haven we maybe get a spicy sage come out for that wall onto the B site. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that would be super hype as well. Something I did want to call a little bit of attention to is that V6 actually chose to attack first on Haven,
Mm.
which I found surprising because the last couple of matches that CG had played, they first picked Haven as their map that they wanted to play, and then they chose defense when they had the opportunity to choose defense. So instead of changing up what had been happening, it seems like V6 kind of opted into exactly what CG wanted. So
Mm.
a little bit interesting. Bind though, super fun map. Lots of ability to fake sites, I think, with the teleports as well. So should be a super hype matchup. Um, Predictions. That's all I think we
Oh.
got left. Sugar,
Oh.
I'll start with you. I think we know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with CG on this one, and it is because of like results that I've been seeing. V6 Academy have started off the season very, very strong. We did see them in week one have a very good showing against Philly Sports, but then it's been a very inconsistent ride, a very wild ride on the crazy train, as Ozzy Osbourne would say, and it hasn't been a really good one for V6 Academy. So I don't really think they'll make it 2 wins out of two, especially against a CG team who comes off of a really good win last week. They grinded it out. They got it on Icebox. I'm taking CG here. 2-0.
Turf.
Well, I don't think I can say 2-0 because you know what? I gotta have some faith in this V6 crew. They got some Viper Spit experience under the belt. They were looking pretty good, but it is a little bit of a question mark that Gia isn't here. I'm hoping Sam can fill that role because Gia tends to bring a really, really good Viper to this V6 team, and unfortunately, that is not going to be here tonight. So I'm kind of a question mark on what are we going to see from Sam. Is it going to be some sort of agent similar to that, or can at least perform the same role as what Gia is leaving? Yoon has been stepping up, but has only played a couple games here for the V6 squad. So it's similar to you as well, Sugar. The numbers don't lie. We've been getting to see CG multiple times so far this split. So I'm gonna say CG 2-1, hoping we get a potential icebox later on tonight as well too, because we did get to see that as our final decider map if we do get to that pivotal game 3. But yeah, CG is looking good. They're second place team. They are super duper strong. It's going to be a tough task for V6 if they want to try and get an upset because at the end of the day, they need this win. And it is very contingent on how the Team Syndicate and VLA Sports series also goes tonight. If V6 can't find the win, Team Syndicates get a loss, that would lock them in for playoffs. So they can't give up. They got to fight till the very end here tonight, guys.
Well, I love me an underdog, and I love 3 games. I love hype series, especially when we get closer to playoffs. I am going to play a bit of the contrarian here and actually root for V6 Academy. I think that they have a lot of potential. They have a lot of variety that I really don't see out of CG. Their game plan looks very straightforward. And to be fair, it's worked for them, so it is a good game plan. But I would not at all be surprised to see V6 come through with something spicy and absolutely flip the series up on its head. I'm even going to go as far as to say they win maps 1 and 3. I think is what's going to happen. V6 wins maps 1 and 3. We'll have to see though. I believe after I'm not sure on the order of operations. No, we just talk. We just talk here.
Just
I'm so
go.
used to
We're ready
League
to
of
go.
Legends where we throw it to breaks every 3 minutes.
Nope, no breaks.
But either way, should be a super fun, super interesting series here. But I believe it is now up to the two of you to cast the game, get some agents through. Hopefully, we see some Sage. But I will see you all after game one.
Woo! We are ready to go. I'm excited. I'm excited. Sugar, it's time to play Valorant. We're going on to Bind. I know. We're ready for pedal to the metal, baby. Game number 1 on Bind is going to be quite an interesting one. Again, I don't think we've gotten to see this map in a little bit of time, but again, very interested to see, how patch 5.07 is going to be coming through. I did see a little bit of Yoru in the match history for Danny, so we do see that being hovered, and I'm very, very interested to see if that is going to be coming through into play. But not too surprising that we potentially might get the double smokes on the side of CG as well, which honestly, a lot of narrow passages towards the site could be really, really good, regardless of what side you're on. Honestly, blocking off hookah, blocking off mid, blocking off showers, a lot of stuff if they do decide to go for that breach, Astra.
Havoc is hovering over
Oh.
Jet or Reyna, and I'm not too. Reyna would be exciting, but I'm not too sure about Jet on a map like Bind, where you don't really have a lot of opportunity to take advantage of what she brings to a team. But the Yoru pick is very exciting. Of course, he did get those
Select your
the
agent.
one little buff to his flashes where it lasts just a little bit longer. He also got some visual effects upgrades too, and it'll be interesting to see how that comes into play today. But it doesn't really look like we'll see CG operate too far off the norms. They're going with the Brim, they're going with the Astra, the Fade, the Sky, the Rays. Even though I said with the Sky receiving her nerfs, her not being as much of a pseudo duelist, a solo initiator, as she once was before the patch, and maybe she won't really be used on a smaller map like Bind, where it can take advantage, where it could have taken advantage of her duelist abilities. Now we're gonna see that be played into effect here, but I think that's more or less because even though her flashes aren't really good for solo pushes anymore, her kit is still very good at collecting intel, plus she has the ability to heal, and her flashes can still help support teammates. So it's not a bad pick. I'm not necessarily surprised, but I really thought we would have saw something a little different.
It's super controlly, right? You got double smokes, you got the Fade in there too, that is going to be essentially able to trail anybody out that's trying to lurk through those smokes, right? Sky with the flashes to follow up as soon as they get the information from Grim. That's essentially game over, right? Then Sky can go ahead, light them up, and then boom, you got the Rays to finish it off. But instead of going for the Reyna, we do see the Rays was locked in here for Havoc, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. We get double showstoppers across the board. But round number 1, Suga, this is usually, I say tame, it starts tame, it gets chaotic very, very quick, and then it's all over. But this will be interesting to see, what the general vibe. That's that's what round 1 really is for. It's a vibe check. How's the other team looking? What are you guys up to? What are you guys thinking? So I'm very, very excited to see how this one is going to break down. Again, this is a huge game for V6 Academy. It is very contingent on another series being played tonight between Team Syndicate and Veil Esports, but V6 got to give it their all if they want to keep those playoff dreams alive. So here we go, starting into this map. We do see Danny is going to be sneaking up into garden while the rest of the team is floating around mid, and already a few kills going down. Grim picking up 2, but Sam will be able to trade them back out. Nice little headshot there with the Ghost, and now we see the teleport plays coming on through. Sam, doesn't know there's 2 people right around the corner. Whoa! Yoon and Sam clean it up in V6. Get a nice start to this one, question mark, as Sam, okay, it's Sam who's got the spike there. I was just wondering who had it. But now, Suga, we're in a situation. Can he do it? Leo, I know it's only round number 1 here. It's a lot of low health bars on the side of V6 here. But we have seen Leo light it up here. 1vx moments. This could be his chance here to get another reel for the clip here. It's V6 and, not going to let it happen. Danny finds him out. Spots him walking out of hookah, and that is the first round for V6, Suga.
Yeah, it's a very hard round for Leo to be able to clutch. He didn't really have a lot of utility to do anything from Hookah anyways, and they knew exactly where he was at. V6 Academy just had everything covered from the opening pick to the moment they moved through mid or through Hookah, and to the moment they moved into site. They also kept Danny over by Gardens for a majority of that round. He was claiming that space, was scouting out A side by himself, then took control of Hookah and helped his teammates pinch those 2 players in Hookah once the teleport came in. So really nice stuff early on from V6 Academy to take advantage of the teleports, but also be able to use Danny to his fullest potential in taking that space and helping his teammates out.
Yeah, good little start. Got to be feeling good and saying, hey guys, we got this. We're feeling good. We're feeling great. Let's keep this momentum going. So picking up some stingers across the board. I do believe Havoc even was able to pick up a Phantom there. So that is definitely looking strong across the board. Actually opted for the bigger gun in exchange for a smaller shield. Hey, gotta work with what you got. Havoc trusting in their aiming already off the board. Is sitting up. Leo's going to be going down too as Danny picks up a nice little kill going into U-Haul. Grim will be waiting there. Little shotgun to the face kind of action, but Sam gets that spike down, and V6, once again, numbers advantage. They got this locked down. Havoc ready, waiting around the corner. Will find 9. Muffin Man will get the trade out, and Yoon finds a kill on the Grim, and all there's left is the Muffin Man. So let's see if they're going to be able to do something here with this frenzy. One frenzy in a dream seems a little unrealistic here, but hey, you never know, Sugar.
Yeah, it's just, this looks a little bit too hard. I mean, V6 Academy, you see the way that they're covering the cross angles, the crossfires into sight, the maneuvering from the breach to be able to watch showers, and, Muffin Man, he goes away with the Phantom, doesn't have to rebuy in the bonus round for V6 Academy, or, the anti-bonus for CG, that is. And so, I mean, that's good for him to be able to carry that Phantom over into the next round. It just so happened that in that previous round, in round 2, V6 Academy just had the better weapons. They took advantage of the better weapons. They just rushed right into sight as well, clearing the tight cornered angles that was being killed from Yuno in particular with the shorty, using the fault line to clear out lamps as well. And we just, again, it's good work from V6 Academy to just clear up that space, allow their duelists to get inside of sight, and just get the open pick yet again. And I mean, it's just tough luck for CG so far, but they do have the better weapons coming into this round.
Yeah, it's a lot of stacked guns here for Cataclysm Gaming, and honestly, I'm surprised, you know what? V6, they had the econ there, but they decided, hey, let's opt for a little bit of an extra save, get the econ absolutely overflowing, and then we'll come back, hit them up next round since we are already 2 rounds up. So not a terrible decision. Let's see if they can make that work. Already down, losing Danny. But we are going to see a couple trades across the board. 9 picks up Sam, and Yoon picks up 9. Muffin Man will find Melly. The battle continues. 2v4, though. Cataclysm get their first numbers advantage out here. Havoc, though, finding Leo. Nice little start. Havoc is being a little bit of a thorn in the side of CG here. Really nicely done. And Yoon, unsuspecting to the other side of the map. Havoc does go down, but it was just enough to keep them distracted. As Yoon with 10 health and some smokes. Let's see if they can hold it down. They're going to be spotted on out by Grim. Picked on up, and Cataclysm is going to get themselves on the board and make it 2-1.
That was almost a kill as well from the Brimstone of Yoon, using his smokes to try and delay time, but in that moment, CG decides to just full debut key it through the smoke through Hookah and just take that gunfight with Grim. Having switched over to the Classic to make himself run faster, almost dies, but still is able to confirm the kill. And I mean, both teams are being able to buy up in this round. One ultimate available in 3 rounds, and that is the Nightfall ability from CG, so they can use that to kind of soak up utility, soak up pressure for V6 Academy, and then when it's time to like hit the site back, once V6 Academy takes control of it, they can use that Nightfall to retake. So I'm not too worried about them, for them in this round, though. Full shields and full weapons for V6 Academy, and then you look at CG, one of them has a Bulldog and light shields. It's weaker, but it's not too bad for them. This is doable.
Yeah, I was just keeping an eye on Grim's lineups there. Tossing, I believe it was the C's through the top of Hookah there. Almost able to get it, but just a little bit short. So I'm going to keep watching those and see, okay, maybe at some point they will line up. The lineups there, it was just a little bit short. But right off the bat, CG losing Yuno here. They make this a little bit difficult as the rest of V6 lining up to get on and towards this A site. Havoc already making headway here into U-Haul. Is going to be followed up by the rest of their team. Checking those corners. Need to watch out for Heaven, though, because you do have Leo sitting on up there spraying in the smoke, but has no sight whatsoever. Lot of smokes there, but really good start. Oh my god, from V6 is about to say that. Leo flicks around, catches Havoc, trying to lurk up the ramp there. Couple more trades. Grim finds a kill. Melly gets one back on to Grim. Double fades here. Let's see if those lineups are still in time. Is Muffin Man gonna be hit by that? They know they're on the site right now. They know they're trying to defuse. V6 coming around the corner, finding those kills, making sure that Spike cannot be defused, and they make it 3-1. These are, you know what, cold and calculated. Both sides here, the wins that they have gotten, Sugar, have been super clean.
Yeah, V6 Academy looking really good on their attack so far. I mean, again, they're able to take site pretty early, and they're able to take it in numbers. You know, happens to fall yet again as the opening death for his team. And I mean, this reminds me, it's really early, but it does remind me a little bit of the Akuma game where we saw, you know, die so early a lot on the defensive rounds and not really be supported by his teammates as much. And I hope it's not the same thing here for CG, but though they are on a pistol round, V6 Academy, they have these better weapons. They have the Phantoms, the Vandals, the smokes coming out to delay from the defensive side. But CG, I mean, they're just rushing from behind and they're getting the picks that they need. They're delaying time as well on sight, and the pinch could come in from lamps from the Brimstone.
Yeah, that was a nice little satchel from Havoc to get out of the opposing raises paint shells there. I was honestly gonna ask, who's on attack? Who's on defense this round? That was an attempted flank there, but look at the showstopper come through, finds only one. CG cleaning up 2 more members of this V6 squad, and we're down to 2v2. I'm honestly surprised the showstopper didn't find more, but hey, you take what you get. You're all tied up now. It's a question if V6 can get this spike down. Danny will pick off Leo here. Melly can simply walk on in, get the spike on down. It's only Muffin Man remaining once again. And again, the chances of getting that 2v1 low, but not impossible. So we'll see if they can do it here. But again, this is what I was mentioning coming into this game. A lot of very narrow passages, a lot of narrow doorways here that you are forced to go through in order to get any vision on here. We'll be essentially allowed through bats here. Not being watched whatsoever. Ooh, a little spooky there, Muffin Man. Will spot Danny lurking up on a Heaven and going for the defuse. Has 41 HP. All they gotta do is spray on through the smoke. Yep, you know where the spike is. Clean it up. Melly will finish off this round, and it's 4-1 for V6 Academy.
Yeah, that was off of the back of a save round though from CG, and I mean they make pretty good work of it. They have they did take out 3 players on that 4-buy round from V6, so they're trying to make it as expensive as possible, though the economy's still looking pretty good for V6 Academy, and they're taking a timeout because, well, the scoreline is 4-1. I think this is a very early timeout. I wouldn't have taken it this early, but if Grim feels like they need to talk about something, then well, he feels like it. And I think the main issue right now for CG is that, you know, they're not winning these one-on-one gunfights as easily as they probably thought they would. You know, they come into this game with stats, all of them, from Grim all the way down to Leo, the main man, the main controller himself, and they're just losing these gunfights. They're losing these head-on battles, and I feel like V6 Academy is doing such a good job at not only isolating these gunfights and making these 1v1s that, well, CG are expecting into maybe like 1v4s, 1v3s. They're working very well together, but also they're taking up a lot of space, and they're using that to get into inside of sight, and they've been planting the spike like a lot. So it's just really good work from V6 Academy, but CG needs to find some way to adjust.
Yeah, there's got to be some plan of attack here. Well, I mean plan of defense here, considering which side they are on. But full buys across the board right now, Sugar. If V6 do end up losing this, they are still going to be comfortably in econ range to at least get something back going into next round. But for CG, could potentially be make or break for the next few rounds if they are not able to clean this one on up, though. But that is going to be the the ult coming out from Melly. Yeah, I always gotta differentiate who's which of these fades are ulting here. But let's see. V6 making a nice aggressive play onto this B site already on and ready to go. Spike will go down, and CG. I think that might have been the talk here, saying, "Hey guys, let them come in. We're gonna play for retake." They have a much more defensive team. A lot of controllers over there in terms of the smokes that they are able to pump down. So play to your strengths. Play to your team comp that you've got set up here. And let's see if these smokes and this setup is going to be enough for them to actually clean this up. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough time here to pass it back over, because in come the members of CG. Orbital Strike is going to be blocking off Garden there. As in come more Orbital Strikes, because it's double Brimstone. CG, oh no, Grim, wait, runs out of ammo, jumps into Hookah, says, wait a minute, I got a pistol, and we'll pop Melly there in the head. Danny and Sam each picking up a kill. Grim gets 2 more kills. It's 1v1, but that Spike has got a timer. It will time out. Sam actually goes down as well too. And Grim wins the Hunger Games. Unfortunately, though, the round does go on over to V6, but for V6, they gotta be feeling good. 5-1 against the second place team. Is it because of the sides here? Is it because of the comps? Or is it just because V6 are just on their game tonight, Sugar?
I think it's just, it's not, I don't really think it's the comps that are doing it. I just think V6 Academy are just playing a much better game right now than CG are. And CG, I mean, in that situation, that was a very close round. There's not really a lot they could have done about the swing from Octagon. I mean, you can smoke it out, so they could have done something. They could have covered that maybe a little bit better, use their smokes, use their utility when they're trying to retake site the way that they did, because they prepped that for V6 Academy to attack into and to be able to plant Spike and play post plant, and they wanted to get on top of the Spike and defuse, but it was just, again, those gunfights, not necessarily the 1v1s, but like the lack of protection for the person defusing the kit there. So it's hard for CG at the moment. They know it's hard, but I mean, it is attack on Vine for V6 Academy. Has that Fine's first kill, and it's a nice pinch again from V6 Academy who take the B site yet again.
Havoc's been having some really clean rounds, but just something small coming into that entry to Hookah. You had both Yoon and Sam back to back, just watching each of the corners here and entry at the exact same time. So just something small like that to see the synergy and the timing there together. Really good clean entry, really good good clean of cleaning out of the corners. Now it's going to be about holding this down, and CG unfortunately are down 2 members, but unless Nine's got some hands, woo! Nine's got some hands there. We'll pick up 1, we'll pick up 2. Danny enters it back with 2 of his own. Make it 3, baby. V6 just picked up their 6th round, 6-1, still on that attacker side. But damn, V6, that was just so clean getting onto that site. And I know I said it once, but I'm just super duper impressed by how well they played that round.
Yeah, no, I mean, that again was a round where CG were pretty low on funds, and they didn't have enough to buy up. So again, they were on pistols this round. Again, they're able to buy up, but even though we say that, there have been rounds where CG are competent in weapons, and they can't necessarily win their ones. They're trying to heavily contest these areas, and we see V6 Academy attack them in numbers, and CG get overwhelmed and they give up map control, or they play further back to give V6 Academy that map control. And it's just like, well, at that point, we tried this, we tried that. What do we do from here? And it looks like maybe CG are just running out of ideas. The flash coming out through mid, or not mid, but through the alleyways.
Who's next?
And at the moment, nothing going well right for CG, but that is right for CG. Sam falls and Scream to get the first kill.
Danny. Look at Danny. I love the Yoru plays. It's so interesting seeing him play, but unfortunately, Grim's waiting for him. Like, yeah, no, buddy, not today. Melly will at least get a trade back out, but now the smokes are coming down, and V6 are deciding to go B once again. But here's what I was talking about. Leo gets spotted out by the Fade Util. Nightfall coming through to maybe hold these members of V6 off a little while longer. See if they can do it. Numbers advantage once again for Cataclysm. We'll be able to hold on to this for a little while longer, but oh, look at 9 around the corner,
Oh,
ready
the
for
way he threw
Yoon.
Not ready yet.
Making these numbers a little bit lower on the side of V6. We'll get the flash onto Havoc. We'll get the kill onto Havoc. 9 finds 2, but Mally loops around the corner. Will get the trade kill. Time is running out, though, for V6, and I don't believe they are going to be able to get a plant off here. So CG getting back another round. They're going to make it 2-6. Still, little ways to go, but not too bad. 4 rounds here. We're only going into round number 9 here. Lots of time to come back. Lots of time to find your footing in this series.
Yeah, but Valorant's a long game. You know, this could go to like 30 or 40 rounds. Hopefully it doesn't go to 30 or 40 rounds. I think I'd be exhausted by the time that ends. So we'll see what CG can pull off. V6 Academy do have a heavy lead, but you know, once we go into the defense, maybe the story will change, or maybe CG can find a way to come back from that second round up into this round. Because I mean, that was a full buy round. They get some credits in this round. They got 3 ultimates to play with. One of them being the Cosmic Divide that can split up a map and make it feel so much smaller for the attackers to attack into. And they're using, you know, we see V6 Academy, they're always following behind this dummy, using the Lone Thunder to clear up space. Here comes the showstopper come out there from, I believe that was, you know, but Melly, he finds the first pick onto 9 with Muffin Man trading right back.
Oh, showstopper actually does time out, but I do believe that those Seekers were able to at least spot a couple members of V6 lurking behind the crates there, as Grim and Leo were trying to line up there. Melly gets both of them. A lot of low health bars, though, on the side of V6. However, CG is left with 1 man. Oh, my God, Muffin Man. Oh, my God. Let's see if they can finish it off. The spike goes down, and it's 2v1, the Muffin Man versus Danny and Sam. See if they can do it. Sam on 9 HP. This is going to be tough, but Tremor comes through. Let's see if Muffin Man can clean it up. Oh! Gets the 3K, but Danny swings around at the same time, cleans it up. 7-1 here for V6. Couple more rounds until we are going to get that half here, but it is, I'm questioning if CG are going to go for the save here and try and claw back the next round, but time is starting to run out here, Sugar. Rounds are starting to run out, and V6 have a 5-round lead so far.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, CG have no choice but to invest into some Stingers. It looks like, yeah, Stingers and Frenzies, with 9 switching between the Frenzy and the Class. But at the moment, no real choice in the weapons they have to invest in this round. And they have to take this fast because the Stingers aren't necessarily good for holding long angles. They're not necessarily good for playing passively. And then you go to get the first pick. They trade that out, does Rim for that Vandal, and he takes out Danny, and that's some Gardens control given up to CG. V6 Academy are just kind of playing around here in hookah with the teleport coming in, and CG looking to play retake. That showstopper is going to be wasted.
Unless, oh, okay. I was hoping maybe Havoc could find the angle there, but no. Paint shells to hold them off a little while longer. CG is going to be wrapping around, though, the backside of B into labs. The smokes do come down, and that's what we were waiting for. Was the Aster Wall to finally be put into use. Coming out of Teleporter, 1-for-1 trade. CG up 4-3 currently. Need to play around this Aster Wall, so Muffin Man will be peeking on out. And he, gets a little spooky, though. They know Sam is in the boxes here. As around the corner comes 9, picking up the kills. And those Stingers, they pay off. The Frenzy pays off too.
Wait, does he have no
and
time?
I think they got time. I think they made it past the halfway
Barely.
point. Yeah.
Barely.
I was getting a little nervous there, a little sweaty on that one, but woo! CG on a safe round 2, able to pick up a win. They make it 3-7. Well, that's definitely going to be great for this next upcoming round here. You see the buys coming through too. It should give them a little bit more confidence in what they're able to do, finishing off these defender-sided rounds.
Yeah, I mean, also winning that round puts V6 Academy's economy in a really tough spot. You see them investing in Stingers, you see them investing in Shorties, and of course the Stinger did receive a buff, like in the very last, not the very last, but the patch before 5.07, which is the newest patch. But you size it up against the Vandal, I mean, that, you know, gets the headshot and takes out Sam almost instantly. Also follows that up with the paint shell, and it's CG. Well, maybe we'll see them on the comeback.
I want more rounds like this from Uno. I remember the first time we saw Uno, I'm like, oh my god, this guy's cracked.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
no.
last couple weeks we're a little bit rougher, but more of that. More of that. That was sweet. Those crazy angles that you get set up. It can be so sick. Oh my god. Melly comes around the corner, picks off one, and Leo will catch Danny lurking out in the lamps. CG clearing up the numbers, and through the teleporters, Muffin Man will catch Melly in the back of the head. They bring it to within 3 rounds, and we get one more round before these teams switch. I'm super interested to know how things are going to go once we flip things around, if we're going to see some plays with that yard or potentially get some more flanks coming out. But again, when we see CG stepping up, being a little bit more aggressive, using those smokes really, really well when they're actually doing their entries, it's been so good. So more of this. CG have the potential here. V6, I want to think about, okay, what has been switching around these past couple rounds that have not been going in our way? Let's see. They can find the answer here. If CG can bring it a little bit closer. V6 have just got the answer. Orbital Strike is going to be coming down as well, too. Let's see if they can find anybody.
Oh,
CG find 3 off the drop. And this round just became immensely more difficult for V6 Academy to try and close out. These last 2 members stuck in B long, and you can see the rest of these members of Cataclysm have essentially created a barrier across the board here. I mean, one option would be maybe to go for the teleporter player, just go and kill everybody if you're Danny. What? What? Are you insane? This is now tied up. This was a huge advantage for CG. They're even going to get the spike back. They TP across the board, and Danny, they might have lost a teammate, but they should be able to get the spike off in time. Let's see though, Suga, if they're able to at least hold this down 1v2, because CG has no idea Danny is over on this side of the map. What?
Yeah, I look away for like 1 second and Danny just gets a multi-kill. I think CG just bit off more than they can chew, and I was initially going to compliment them for the pinch using that teleporter right in front of Fuku, right in that mid area. And they just, oh, that's a nice use of that fake out ability. Fakes out to these players. Muffin Man and Yuno looking the completely wrong way, thinking that he's in the middle of the site. And no, he's not. He's going to use this ultimate to fruition play right in front of him, shaking his head, unsheath himself, but dies. Yuno now back on the fuse, and he has more than enough time. Danny playing with his food, and he doesn't even eat it properly. He's choking on it, and now Yuno clutches it the round up for his team. 7-5 is still a lead, but that was kind of a slip up from Danny. He didn't. I don't think that he should have unsheathed at that moment. He could have used that dimensional drift to waste more time, or even reposition himself literally anywhere else. But no, he doesn't do that, and he doesn't win out the gunfight. 7-5.
Danny sent it halfway through that round where he just kind of busted through the smoke and said, yeah, I don't care about the kill difference, mowed everybody down. And then maybe sent it a little too hard there, but at the end where, yeah, that was kind of funny, but a little question mark, probably 4 heads staring at you across the bench and be like, sorry guys, my bad, we'll get them next time. Still, 5-7, V6 Academy are holding the lead here. But we are on to that pistol round. We do have the switch, and Danny Sam.
Wow.
That's a double for Sam there. As yeah, V6 picking up 3 quick kills off the drop. And we're in a situation similar to like last round. But V6 gonna clean this up. Absolutely flawless. They changed this score to 8-5. And definitely gonna be looking good for this next upcoming round. Everybody survived. Econ's looking great. I think a few stingers are gonna be coming through, but the big shields, definitely, for sure. And V6 continue their push ahead. They continue to hold on to this lead. Just a question of closing and the consistency factor, Sugar, because the rounds of V6 have been on. I think the one exception, the only thing is just because it's so recent what Danny just did. But otherwise, it's been super clean throughout. And again, back to those points you made at the early start of this series, just the gunfights have been going away of the V6 almost every single time. And maybe we see another timeout from CG to say, okay, guys, you know, flex those fingies out. Let's make sure the hands stay warm here. As around the corner, yeah, you know what? A little spray action there from a shotgun will make sure you do not have to worry about any aim issues there. So boom, that's the first kill for Cataclysm. You see the spray coming through the smoke there, right past the head of Sam. As Leo going to be stepping on up, going for the defuse, but they know oh, not the defuse, going for the plan. I had things a little reversed, folks, but that's okay. Yoon and will each get themselves a kill here. That might be a little confusing throughout the night. Won't it be, Sugar? Let's see if they can keep us up. Sam finding a headshot on a Yuno. Coming around the corner. Havoc picks up a kill of their own. Graham will find Sam. It's a bloodbath. And V6 take yet another round. 9-5. And 4 out of securing this first map.
Yeah, I mean, great work on the defense so far. That second round was just a case of them having the better weapons. CG made good work of it as well. Took down as many people as they could. Now in this round, they're able to full buy onto some better and bigger weapons, onto bigger and better things. Hopefully that comes to fruition because, again, I mean, it's been those gunfights. Even on rounds where they're investing and it's becoming an issue here, that's a great fault line to initiate the double swing from both Yoon and Melly as they take out, you know, who again killed by himself. No real support from his own teammates, but V6 Academy have no problem supporting their own.
Yeah, I like that. Again, this is where we like to see CG getting a little aggressive here, but fortunately it does catch them out that time. That was a nice little swing coming out of Hookah. But
Yeah.
majority of these players here, I would say it's going to be question mark. Maybe some attention going to be drawn towards this B site, as you do have Grim and Muffin Man sneaking their way towards this A site. There is a chance that Havoc is able to catch him on the flank there. You see the corners are being checked. Oh, they do see Havoc paint shells come on out. We'll run away from that for now. I believe CG lost a second member as well, or third member, sorry.
I can't believe. I was gonna say I can't believe Danny just won that with the frenzy against the Vandal, and there you go. He's there on the Phantom this time, taking off the head of Leo.
30 seconds left.
And
I was gonna say, Sugar, I'm like, CG lost the third member. I'm like, I don't know where and who and how. But yeah, Danny with the frenzy. That's spicy. Going for the plant now. Let's see. Is there a chance here for potential retake? Are we gonna see? Oh!
You were so
Whoa!
Grim.
Whoa! You know what? That's not. You know what? Grim just showed us why he's one of the highest rated players in VLS, and why he deserved MVP in that last game. I mean, the mechanics on the captain, right? On that play. That wasn't a play like full of like flashy YouTube usage from the phase C's or whatever Grim does. That was just a nice 1-2 flick. Even V6 Academy, they're so good at swinging with one another, it doesn't matter. And he's able to take off the head of both players now. Well, CG, they escaped with one there. But I mean, again, that was a case of just Grim having the better weapon compared to what V6 Academy have. Now both teams on equal footing in terms of weapons. Danny doesn't have an armor play on him. So might be left weaker in these gunfights against these better weapons, but still. This might be a nasty round.
Yeah, I mean, if Grim's still on whatever they were on that last round, hey, keep going with that. That's where my camera's gonna be lurking on, see what Grim has got cooking. Because again, 1-2 punch there, double doink. Let's see more and more of that. Getting a little bit of confidence coming back into this game, saying, hey, you know what? We got hands. We can still keep up with this V6 crew. Picking a kill on to Danny there, going to be lowering the numbers of the V6 crew by 1.
Face your fear.
Again, this is in 3 rounds here between these two teams, but a lot of action here on the B side as the orbital strike does come down. V6 clean this site up once again. Muffin Man lurking in the garden. Gonna be slightly CC'd for a little bit, and he sees that spike within range but cannot go and get it. You got multiple eyes on you, so trying for the Astra smokes, tries to put it down, catch one of these V6 members off guard, but Havoc and Sam, all they gotta do is swing at the same time, and Sam will get it. A 3K for them. It's 10-6 for V6.
That's
3 more
thing.
rounds. 3 more rounds, Sugar.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that I wanted to give V6 Academy credit for was the fact that and this was evident in their attacking half as well, where they're really good at just playing off of one another, whether that be behind each other's utility or whether that just be them swinging at the same time as one another or holding simple crosses. Like, you may think that holding like a cross fire is like very simple, but for a lot of people it isn't. For a lot of teams it isn't, and V6 Academy are just right now they're putting on a clinic. And CG, well, you know, some of your usual heavy hitters aren't really hitting on this map apart from Grim.
Yeah, it's kind of been in Grim's hands so far this game. 18 frags and pretty impressive for the rest of the crew as well too. But yeah, a lot of those clutch moments, right? We haven't really been seeing the Leo 1vx moments so far this game, but Havoc! Showers are looking a little messy there. Takes the old shower super scrubber, whatever you want to call it, whatever brand you decide to use, cleans them out. Holy moly, that's 3 there. Sam finds a 4th. And V6 are just lighting up Cataclysm Gaming here. 9 will try and come around the corner with the classic there, but to no avail. Danny's got a Vandal. That gun is much, much better. It's a flawless round for V6. They bring it within 2 of a victory. And something I wouldn't have expected tonight was V6 being this dominant on our first map of the evening.
Yeah, and I don't think CG are expecting it neither, because they're taking a timeout yet again. This is the second timeout that we've seen thus far today, and it's been both of them being from CG. And of course, it's just, I mean, that round, there's nothing you can really do. It's a flash into showers from Danny, who's been so good on that Yoru, playing mind games, but also just doing such a good job of getting on the score sheet. He just sent the flash in, and Havoc, Havoc just wreaking havoc. He got like a 3K in showers, supported by that flash. And now Grim is gonna have to talk to his team, because, well, this is a round. This is a good round for them to be able to catch up, maybe destroy, or not destroy, but limit some of the not limit, but weaken the economy advantage that we see from V6 Academy so far, since they're able to full buy in weapons. But if they lose this round, not only do V6 Academy get on match point, but then in the very next round, CG would have to like save or force onto weaker guns, and that would be a done deal, donezo. Because even with competent weapons, CG have been struggling in the 1v1 gunfights. So I don't know if they'll make a case on a force buy.
It's definitely going to be a must-win here for Cataclysm if they want to keep on going, if they want to keep the dream alive here for this first map. But V6 already lined up around this B site already. I'm question mark on where. Is there lurking? No, again. I even get. Maybe this is why I got lit up so hard by that Yoru in my game earlier today, because I was shooting at him like, wait a minute. Yeah, even sometimes this caster gets confused, especially me. But not to be confused, is already one of the members of V6 going to be on the floor. Danny does lose their life there. CG continue to hold on down. We've got Melly, though, already all the way up to all the way into Gardens. But here come the attack from Cataclysm in with the satchel charges. Showstopper is available. Will they send it into lab? Let's see if Yuno is going to be able to go for it. No kills will be found. Grim is going to be going for the plant, though, right outside of the boxes. So 3 members of CG posted up here. It's going to be a tight defense, because, again, as we've seen throughout tonight, V6 being able to play super well off each other is going to be interesting. See how they approach this one. Melly is going to be playing elbow well. You have Yoon and Sam making their way, at least trying to deal with the smokes here at the entry of that lab door. But here they swing. It's 1-for-1 trade. And CG will claim back this incredibly important round. They make it 7-11. And we'll hold on to at least a few of those guns out there. So Econ not going to be completely in shambles there. V6 should be okay and able to recover. But things a little bit more on even footing now.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a really nice usage of utility from CG to make sure they afforded the space inside of the site. Not really utility, but also the over-aggression from V6 Academy at the beginning, where Danny got punished almost off rip, despite having the dummy kind of fake out CG, not really faking them out, but also a flash being expended to help him too. One thing about that round that really helped not V6, but CG kind of claimed their stake onto B was the showstopper affording them space. And so V6 Academy were also very afraid to push into site. Also the smokes were slowing them down so much. And I mean, look at how many ultimates they have now in this round. The Cosmic Divide is again splitting up this map, but also V6 Academy are not going to feel confident into pushing past the wall. Apart from Sam, what are you doing? You know, dies. It is just, I know he's mad. I know it. Oh my god.
Oh, Sam and Havoc, fear nothing, absolutely nothing. They dive through the Astro Wall head first. I'm like, yeah, we're fine. We got this. Sam picking up a second one. Sam looking for some more. Picking up a 3K there is now. See if they can get any more as we'll use Satchel Charge to get themselves in a better position. Havoc will clean up Grim. And it's match point here for map number 1, 12-7. All V6 got to do is close this final one out. And like you said, it will come back. That point you made about the force buys through in this potentially final round. I don't want to say it's completely done yet because it ain't. It ain't over till it's over. But this is going to be tough for CG.
It ain't over till it's over, but it might be over in this upcoming round. I'm not as much of an optimistic as Kirk. I'm gonna just say that. I just do not think the situation looks so good for CG. I mean, they do have 3 rifles on the board, but you also have a Stinger and a Spectre, and 4 out of 5 of your players have light shields. You also have a player in Danny hiding in front of the teleporter in mid, and Grim. Whoa, he's suspicious, but he's not ready for the gunfight, and Danny still wins that out somehow. But but 9 retakes that position, but Leo finds the refill. Like Melly though is again on a flank. V6 Academy are just playing with fire, but CG just aren't aware. Look at this, he's still gonna pull the knife off from behind him. He's still gonna find the kill, and he takes out the spiker.
That spike is in such an awkward position too. There's no way that CG is going to be able to get on this one, and V6 clean this one up. They take home map number 1, but this is a best of 3 series. They got to do it at least one more time here. Holy crap, that was such a great game from V6. Sugar, I am honestly super duper impressed by the way they performed this game. And the big part is we saw playing off each other super well, but also I gotta throw some respect Danny's way. The mind games, the weird angles they were going with Yoru, just getting inside their heads. Teleporter plays, that's exactly what I asked for, and they delivered. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first VLS match, this first Victoris Valorant I've ever been able to see. So what the heck, bro?
Right? Kev, I told you tonight was gonna blow your mind. VLS players are on something else, but yeah. What do you think, Kev? What were your thoughts about this game?
Sam absolutely popped off at the end there, but for most of the match, it really seemed like it was a battle between the Fades there, with Millie and Grimmer. It was close. I think there were a lot of points where CG had a really good shot to get back into the game. They just weren't able to quite finish up the executions on them. But you would expect this though, right? You know, you win on the map that you pick, and there's a reason you pick it, and it's because you're good on that map. I expect the Haven to be going in the opposite direction. Either way, feels good to be validated.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm completely taken aback. I said that I did expect good things from V6 Academy on Vine, but I also said this would be a 2-0 game. I didn't expect CG to kind of like, not necessarily crumble. It wasn't necessarily a bad performance from them, but we did see some holes in the way that they were playing, especially when you compare the teamwork from V6 Academy compared to CG. A lot of the times V6 Academy were playing off of each other. When one person died, another player was there to get in the trade. They were also going for like very aggressive plays on a defense that worked out very, very well because they were supported. You have players like Danny or Havoc being supported by flashes from other teammates. You didn't really see that a lot when was out here challenging people by himself when he was hiding in corners. Nobody was there to help him because he would get flashed. He would get like found out. He would get pre-fired like so hard, and it was just really awkward for CG in that map. And I mean, this is the same thing that we saw for them against Akuma. And this map was a question mark from CG, but it was answered by V6 Academy in spectacular form. And also, hats off to Havoc. He did exceptionally well in this game. And also the econ rating, I pointed that out at the beginning. Really good from both Havoc and Sam in this game. Sam doing some really nice work in that breach, too.
296 on Havoc. That's
Yes.
wow. And
Yes, yes.
265 on Sam. That's really impressive. Grim, did the best they could. I would say out of the CG members, definitely stood out for me was how Grim was playing out there. But again, team game and V6 were just a cohesive unit of that game. So it's going to be interesting. The fact that we get to see Haven next, which is one of CG's favorites, well played and experienced maps. So I don't know. I got fingers crossed potential Icebox tonight, but we'll have to see. Kevin, any final thoughts before we take a quick break?
Again, I think you hit the point that I tried to make during the pre-show, and that I'm gonna make again now. TG really like Haven, it seems like. So I would expect to see some spicy stuff come out. Of course, the Yoru, a bit surprising. Not something that's been seen too much play before the patch. So excited to see that one come out. But I'm just really excited for Haven. We'll have to catch that, though, on the other side of a short break. We'll see you there. Welcome back to right before our game 2 of VLS Week 7. This is the last week of playoffs. V6 Academy fighting for a playoffs berth. Still also relying on Syndicate to lose, but taking map 1 in a pretty dominant fashion, I'd have to say.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Yeah. They just played a lot better as a team. Like I mentioned at the end of Vine, I just feel like there was a lot more to V6 Academy's team play than there was to CG. Whereas for CG, they not only was the team play not there, but also the guns weren't firing apart from Grims.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta shoot the guns. You gotta shoot the guns. You gotta find those picks. But I don't think it was about that because we've seen CG's gunplay. I think maybe a little bit on the faltering end. You know, I think it was just V6 first to the mark, and a lot of it came off of playing off of each other. The util was clean, the swings were clean, and the mind games. That's what I want to see some more of here from V6. But Haven should be interesting. It's a much larger map in terms of what we see on Bind. 3 different sites, so it's going to be curious. I'm very curious to see what kind of agents are going to be coming out. From Cataclysm last game, it was very controller heavy, and we saw it work really well on that one B site take where they came in, they delayed with the showstopper, they delayed with the smokes, and we didn't just see more of that. The delays just like run the timer out. So if they are going to go for something like that, I want to see them really play off those strengths that their agents and that their comp is actually bringing to the game.
Yeah, I think I'd almost though prefer CG here to pick something that is going to be a little bit more of an aggressor, especially because they're I believe they're starting on defense in this map, if I'm not wrong.
I think so, yeah.
So
Yeah,
picking
CG on
something
defense
that
first.
in the second half is going to have a better time taking sites and disrupting the other team, I think is going to have a large impact, especially if this map does end up being close. Of course, like we said, CG have a good win rate on this, whereas V6 not so much. So definitely expecting this one to go to the side of CG. But we saw even as not the favorites, the first map going to V6 pretty handily. Any specific champion picks that you want to see possibly come through as something spicy to maybe change it up a little bit?
I don't know about you, Sugar. I kind of like the Yoru last game, and there was a hint. We almost got Arena. I don't know if you feel the same way about with the changes coming in on patch 5.07. Seemed to work for V6. I don't know if CG decided to go for one of those or maybe something else.
Yeah, no, I don't know about Yoru, but Reina is most definitely a possibility on Haven. I think also maybe even we'll probably most likely see a Neon. CG played Neon last week and did like a really, really good job with them. I say them, but it was who was on the Neon, but again, a really good agent for them to utilize on a map like Haven. I don't know if I'll be surprised by anything though. Cause like when we've had Haven matches, it's usually been like a comp that's not like too surprising. That doesn't like jump out to me as, oh, this is new, this is different.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether or not V6 does opt into something a little crazy like that, as I'm not sure how much. Are we ready to get into champ select here? All right, in that case, Gareth Sugar, take it away.
Let's go, baby! Woo! Thank you, Kev, for the lead over. And again, shout out to our lovely, lovely producer, Sashman, in the background, making all this lovely magical stuff happen. Sugar! Game number 2. V6 get a, I don't know if I want to say overly surprising, but it was, it was a little surprising. The fact that we got to see them, take that first win here. But this is one I didn't mention, the fact that our boy Chamber is going to be coming and showing his face here on this map. Not too surprised about that. There is a lot of pick potential on the C or A long, honestly, depending on which way you're looking at it there. Back on the Neon, though, which is going to be super, super fun to see. So if we see the pair up of the fast lane with the Chamber peaks, a little tour de force action, could be quite fun indeed. A lot of controllers coming on. I'm seeing some Breach. I'm seeing some Astra potentially here for the side of a V6. Brain moment. Unless more mind games, a little bit of Omen play. We saw last week CG were actually the ones who went ahead and with that cross map Omen play, and we get 2 of them in this game. So double Omens, double Chambers. Any other double ups here? No, I don't believe we got any else, but should be a fun one. I'm excited for this. What are you thinking of these agents, Sugar?
I'm sort of surprised to see Sova, of course, because Fade is kind of like, at least from Grim, because Fade is kind of knocked Sova out in terms of like favorite recon initiator, and she's like really she's the it girl right now. Sova's more useful on like wide open maps like Breeze or Icebox, for example, where Fade's like haunt ability can't really cover that big of a radius. Sova's can, but on a map like Haven, it's not a bad pick, but it's a surprising one nonetheless. Ray's not being too surprising. They're from Academy. They played it. Sorry, they did play it. Both of them actually played the Rays, and in the last map combined, but also for V6 Academy. More importantly, they combined that Rays with the Yoru, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for them. They're going with something a little bit more default compared to what we saw on Bind, though.
I'm just keeping an eye on Grim. I was got more just eyes on for, where are they putting those recon bolts? But again, those lineups are just so clean, able to get it right outside the entry of a lobby there. So again, how these players figure out these lineups, that is hours and hours of dedication to some of these agents, learning these lineups, learning exactly what is optimal for what needs to be done. But we see a lot of bodies from V6 heading over towards this A site. A lot of paint shells being used, and it will force CG off. So playing a little bit safe in these early rounds, V6 will be able to get the plant, but it's going to have to be the retake angle here for the side of Cataclysm. Let's see, as V6 posts up, you got 2 members of Cataclysm heading up and towards Heaven, as Grim again has a couple shock darts in the old quiver there. Let's see how they're going to put them to use. As I think only one more, actually. Little recon bolt comes on out, as you do have Yuno jumping right on the site. A couple trades coming on out, but V6 have got this site locked down. I don't know if you did a little pan over top there, Sugar, but every single angle was cornered. And CG, that was going to be a tough one for them to get in there. As soon as anybody reveals their face, V6 was just all over them.
I mean, that's also what V6 did so well in Bind, too. They were very good at just isolating, like, crossfires and just closing out the site. Once they got control of it, it was very, very hard to knock them off of it in the post play unless they were at, like, a numbers disadvantage. But when they have everybody up, everybody can watch anything. And it's not like CG tried anything too surprising. They just went up from Heaven, and they also went up from Link as well. Not really going for any flanks to throw V6 Academy off. I mean, they couldn't necessarily really afford to. They wanted to try and retake from those angles, and they just couldn't. And I mean, again, that's good util usage as well from Danny to be able to support his teammates. Just enter inside the site. They didn't even need to get a kill. But nonetheless, they still were able to get inside of the site easily.
Yeah, really forcing the hand of Cataclysm there, saying, hey, you better move off this site because we've got the util to answer, and gave them the space. That's a great term you've been bringing up so far this series, is creating space here. And that's something that really got to think about too, is you see Danny immediately getting the backside of the C site, and V6 once again taking over. Those Omen smokes going to be blocking out Garage. Now CG once again in a similar situation as we saw in the first round, but for the side of V6, it is Spectres all around. It's going to be really hard here for the side of CG, as Havoc from Spawn is picking off the rotating members of Cataclysm. Nobody's going to be allowed through, and you can see how clumped up the remaining members of Cataclysm are. Sam will find one, and they have a pretty damn good idea of where the remaining 2 members are. 9 will not be able to get through this smoke. They're losing their life, and Muffin Man caught out in Garage will stay seated now, but you can hear the footsteps coming across, maybe looking to go for a trade, but it's too late at this point. Will get picked off by the spike, and a flawless round here for the side of V6. They take this lead 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, at the end there for Muffman, he just wanted to die with his teammates just so he'd have enough to buy up in this run. At least, they're gonna have enough to buy up anyways, but, you get that extra bonus with that light shield that he's able to buy onto. CG at least have the better weapons in this round, but again, I mean, the main thing about Haven is attack is just a hell of a lot better, and CG aren't really doing enough to deny easy entrance inside the site. It's only been 2 rounds so far, and maybe with the Pistons, CG will get a little bit more aggressive. They try and they falter, being the first pick. And, well, I mean, Neon's not too useful on defense, but still, that's a body down for CG.
Yeah. And again, immediately and aggressively making the way down A long, Danny was able to just create that space once again. And yeah, not expecting for these members of V6 to be so fast pushed up. It's definitely catching CG out a little bit more as Yoon all the way up that C long will pick off another member of Cataclysm. We're left at a 3 to 5 disadvantage for these teammates as Havoc will trade one on out. Grim though picking up a kill alongside Muffin Man. 3 to 2. Let's see if V6 can continue holding this site down. Is Sam? Oh, a little bit of lurking through the B site there. We'll toss some utility to slow any chasers down. Lovely little pick off there. And it's all up to Grim once again. See him as the last surviving member here is Cataclysm. Yes, they do have the hands. Yes, they've shown us they can do the double doink, but it's 3v1. And that becomes a lot more difficult to go with. I do, in fact, just side note, love the gun buddy that Grim is rocking right now on that gun, the little potato friend. But the more important part is the fact that V6 take another round, 3 in a row now, makes it 3-0.
Okay. I thought he was gonna die to the spike there. Maybe
I was a little nervous,
just
yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't like nervous because usually teams do that because they wanna help save, they wanna save up, or they wanna get more credits with their team. Because if you all die as a team, credits. But Grim wants to save to the weapon there. You usually do that on a weapon that you don't want to save. You want to save the victim, so he is gonna save it in this next round. It doesn't necessarily give CG a fighting chance, but at least they have a rifle on their defensive round here. 3-0, V6 Academy winning their bonus round, which is not too uncommon, but I mean, they just keep fighting openers after openers, and V6, I mean, not V6, but at this moment, CG have to be tilted. I mean, it's on a round where they're saving up. It's a force, not necessarily a force, but they still are on a weaker weapons, and they take those opening engagements, and they pretty fast.
I'm genuinely curious how Danny got a pick. Oh, wow. Nice little kill on Melly there with a frenzy. Picks up a better gun. But how Danny got that kill on the backside of B, I did not have my camera there, so I just looked up and like, oh, we got a kill. Wait, how did he get it there? But side note on that too was the fact that V6 got themselves a secondary kill. But yeah, nicely done with the frenzy to at least make things a little bit closer here. But again, V6 wasting no time whatsoever. They get the spike down, and they've got themselves set up. But Grim might have other plans, bringing these numbers to even. See if they can find some more. Danny will find Leo out there. And from C long, we see a couple trades coming through, but that spike is out of time. And Havoc sitting pretty with that op. Will maybe try and find anybody making their way back towards that A site. Do not want to risk it. Really close back and forth. That one, honestly, a little bit closer for Cataclysm, but like you mentioned, attacker sided favored on Haven here. And 4 in a row here for V6. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see another timeout coming in from Cataclysm and be like, okay, guys, we need some plan of attack. We cannot let them continue to get this streak. So what is it going to take here from Cataclysm to get themselves back in the driver's seat?
I think right now, I'm very excited to say this because Leo, who's in the chamber, usually on that controller role, has the operator here in round 5, and so does Havoc, who, and I forgot to mention it, but he did have the operator in a previous run, and that's why he was able to get one of the openers alongside me. But now, well, Leozen, he does have this operator to be able to contest these neutral grounds.
Oh.
Maybe he can take out Havoc, and there you go. That's a big pick. That's a huge one for CG. It's the first kill of the game for Leo, but most importantly, one of the first opening kills for CG.
Yep, 9 is going to be picking up one as well, too. I do believe Danny was able to lurk in there and pick up that that op that Havoc dropped. But my eyes right now currently on Leo as well too, still holding down a sewers, and will be able to get another. That's Leo, baby. Let's go. That's 2 with an op, and gets himself safely back towards this A site. So CG get a couple very, very clutch picks there at the start of this round. It's going to make defense way, way more easy comparatively to what we saw in these earlier rounds. But Melly and Yoon, last surviving members of V6 against 5, the full squad here of Cataclysm. And time is running out with such a wide map too. It's going to be interesting to see what their final decision is. But C site seems to be the target location here. You do have Grim lurking at the back here. Guys hear the footsteps coming up, so they know they're here. Through the smoke, will catch the Omen. Grim again with the double doink. Cataclysm gonna get themselves on the board. It's 4-1, still in favor of V6, but a much better round from Cataclysm.
Yeah, I mean, Leo is like 0-2-4 right now, but 2 of his kills came in that last round, and again, he's contesting that neutral area of sewers towards that garden where Havoc is sitting right now. And he's able to get that pick and open up the round for his teammates. V6 Academy took that round a little bit slower than they usually do, but CG, they were playing aggressive. They were contesting more space than what they did in the previous, 4 rounds in a row where we saw V6 Academy just wreak havoc on them after havoc after havoc. Now, Havoc, though, on the tour de force, doesn't reinvest in an operator this round. Because he just figures it's cheaper to do that. Grim, though, going to use the Victoria. I'm not too sure about that usage because it doesn't find anything. And even though they get fed with that Hunter's Fury and, wants to over-aggress, he over-aggresses right into the first death.
They're blind with fear.
Yeah, I was hoping to see some big op shots, but hey, the round's not done yet. We still got the op on Leo, who will find Danny. Lurking around, swinging around towards that A site. He is able to get another pick off. So really, really well done. Havoc still holding on to that tour de force. Should be very, very fun to see these 2 chambers lock eyes across their scopes here, or through the scopes. Nobody is sitting in heaven, though. V6 is going to be able to walk on here unless... Oh, Leo. Trying to find more through just a sliver of vision there. We'll wait for anybody to swing on out again. Just a crack through the wall there. Will it be enough? CG, though, it's 3-3. Havoc picks a kill onto 9. And Grim gonna try and get some shock darts out across the board here. Does have good eyes on to Sam, though, but Sam has got the quicker hands. Leo answers back. Putting that op to good use. This is 2 rounds now it's going.
No.
And econ worthy. Yeah, this is 100% econ value here. Let's see as Muffin Man picks off Melly. And the defuse should be completely fine to go. It goes through. Havoc does not have enough time to get on up there. And another round for CG. They're bringing it back round by round.
Yeah, I mean, Leo gets a couple of kills in that round, but what really made that round work was the retake. But more specifically from Muffin Man using that teleporter to teleport in behind the middle boxes, and the player in hell just couldn't or didn't act quick enough, or just couldn't because he was afraid of the player in heaven. He was also afraid of the extra crossfires that maybe CG were playing between heaven and that middle box. And plus, Havoc didn't really necessarily have back from sewers, and so you're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. There is Melly and V6 Academy. They fall, but really good at totally there from Muffin Man to be able to enable that retake. But Danny finds the first kill through mid. Leo's in finding a quick trade back, and that's what we've been missing from the mid fonts. But I mean, V6 have that as well.
Nice little pick up there from Melly and C garages. Now the util is starting to come out, and 9 completely blinded by the fade is gonna be picked off there. CG down to just 2 members, though. It is Leo holding an op, so hey, it ain't over till that op is on the floor. Let's see if Leo can hold it down. Even so, next round they will have that tour de force available if they so choose. Let's see as Grim will swing at a garage and picks up a kill there on Havoc. Havoc was at least able to get a trade out before they went down, but 1v3 situation all in Grim's hands here. That spike is timing down, and they know exactly where Grim is at this point. We're going to see the satchel toss over the boxes here. Danny just peeking, just threatening the spray, but at this point, Timer's ticking down. It's in Grim's hands. It's going to be forced to come on forward. And Melly is waiting in the back of C site there to pick him on off. 3K for Melly. And V6 pick up another round. It's 5-2 for them.
Yeah, I mean, again, CG, what I'm liking, even though they lose that round, was like the fast response. Like, we missed that on Bayern where one player would die from CG and then another player would die with no trade value, no trades, nothing, no response. In Haven, so far, they've been responding pretty well, but V6 Academy have always been responding throughout this whole game, and it's showing now. 5-2 up, and sort of forced use and a force buy round from CG. But I mean, there goes the OD from, you know, he finds the first with the follow-up from Grim.
Oh, nice little start here, but an aggressive push back. Well, at least be able to get an answer there, as you know, gets picked on off. Melly finding the kill of their own, trying to equalize the numbers out on the board here. A 9 is still going to be playing these sewers. They see the spike is right up above and trying to stop anybody trying to pick that back up once again. Coming close to picking off Havoc, but Havoc, they've got the hands tonight. Havoc has been so clean with these trades and just pixel perfect in terms of where they need to be. So now V6 making their way as a pair. I do believe it is, yeah. Havoc and Melly making their way towards that C site, and Muffin Man is left all alone. Let's see if they can clutch this 1v2 here, but it is going to be tough. Everybody's got some decent guns out for sure, but it is going to be a spicy round to see if Muffin Man can finish this off.
Yeah, Muffin Man does have the From the Shadows ability. Not really a good ultimate to use in the 1v2. He's not going to use it. Does have a paranoia. Doesn't matter because, I mean, V6 Academy, where are you looking? Absolutely nowhere. And Muffin Man just swings in from garage.
Clutch.
I've been waiting 3 weeks to say this, Sugar, but do you know the Muffin Man?
Please, bro. Get out. Get out. Get out. Oh my god. No.
Muffin Man! I've been waiting so long. Let's go, Muffin Man. Clutches. 1v2. Yeah, I've been literally holding that in the back pocket for 3 weeks of this broadcast. So, hey, there we go. Nicely done by CG. They bring it within 2 rounds. I break Sugar's soul just a little bit with that one, but hey, it's for the content, baby. We're going to see a little timeout, though, from CG. You know, good round here, but what's the next step? How do we get back into this one, and how do we make sure we're comfortably going into this attacker's half? Not too much at a disadvantage.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really do want to watch that round back because I have to be missing something here because I really don't understand what V6 Academy, the last 2 players were looking at. They weren't necessarily, that was the situation where neither one of them anything. They were both in the middle boxes. And you have the Fade looking at, I believe it was C-Link, and then, I mean, what is the other player looking at? What, C-Long? And I feel like maybe in that position, they both should have just escaped to C-Long. You have the rifles to contest the long angles. There's no reason for y'all to be sitting in the middle of the site. But also, they don't really know where Muffin Man is. Mm-hmm. And he capitalizes off of that situation so well. He capitalizes off of the unknown so well. And V6 Academy aren't able to clutch up the 2v1. But
look at Leo!
Nice stuff. Oh! And Leo again. I mean, come on.
That was a nice stunt for sure. He was able to still at least trade one out, but I saw 4 members of V6 pass through that scope before a shot was taken. I was like, oh god, is he gonna get picked off first, or is he gonna pick someone off first? Yeah, 1 for 1. But the big thing is that you no longer have the op watching C-Long. Question mark if V6 want to continue to go back and hit up that C site once again, but looking like they want to rotate towards this B site. So look at where Muffin Man is posted up right now on top of the boxes. Ready, waiting. Danny's gonna be peeking around the corner, and Danny is ready for that angle. Has the lineup ready to go. That is actually so impressive to see. Spike will be able to get planted down onto this B site, and Grim, just outside of garage, is going to get caught out by Havoc, who swings around from the C site. CG continue to lose these members, and now and Grim The last two left. Here comes the fast lane through. Danny with the showstoppers, ready for anybody to decide to make their way through here. Will catch out. Havoc trying to make yet another flank play there, but they just rush on in, and Melly's like, yeah, no, thanks there. We're going to pick you off. 6-3 for V6.
Well, I mean, now V6 Academy leading by 3, or it's not, sorry, six rounds. And I mean, they did so well to get inside of the site, but also the post plant was like really well played. Especially, using that showstopper. Doesn't really get any kills, but it does just delay a little bit more time when that round was looking scary for V6 Academy.
You want to play? Let's play.
They're finding ways to just use their utility, not only to just get in with the flashes, but also just to delay time as well. I mean, they make the space using that Rolling Thunder, but also keep in mind, CG, they're on a pistol round, they're on a save.
Yeah, so realistically, let's be realistic, as optimistic as I can be out here, Sugar. It is going to be really tough here. Danny swings out of the smoke and picks off Grim and Leo. This is going to be incredibly hard, so would not be super surprised here. Probably the better choice here for CD. Just hold on to the ults that they do have right now. Try and come back into the round. Because V6, they got this entire C site locked down, long and sight. Like, everything is locked. Yuna's in this corner, though. Blocked by the Omen smoke, going to be spraying a little bit through. 9 is on the other side, same with Muffin Man and taking a little bit of damage, but that spike is timing out, and no, Muffin Man is still able to trade him out. V6 will clean up everybody, so the econ for Cataclysm is again going to be hit a little bit going into this next round, and they're going to be forced to buy. You see those wallets completely drained now. They go for full buy. Can't even get full shields, though, on everybody, though, Sugar.
Right here.
And, I mean, that was a round in that last round where they were full saving on pistols. That was a round just to build up the economy for the next. And I mean, they at least they have an operator. Leo's now back on the operator. He can contest these long angles. But I mean, the rest of V6 Academy, they all have rifles. So this may be a fast and furious hit onto this A site. Nobody's contesting A long, but most of the push is coming from CG. And you can tell by the way they're playing that they're maybe looking to pinch this V6 Academy attack, but look, it looks like they're prepared for it. Oh, maybe not, actually.
Nice double swing from 9 and and we'll even pick off Yoon out there in the courtyard. Nice little job, honestly. These early kills really put V6 in a question mark moment, because that early aggressiveness, if they can't find it, if they can't go, absolutely send it onto a site, which we've seen so far this game, becomes incredibly more difficult. The game slows down a lot more. And then CG, you see here, they are posted up super defensively. V6 going to be taking their time getting onto this A site. A little bit of util tossed out here from Melly. But not too much is going to be done. The spike will go down in CG. You can see almost like pack of sharks. They're coming on in here. And CG going to be looking to take this one over. 9 does have the Rolling Thunder available, so if they decide to go for it right now, right here, be incredibly helpful to help them finish this one off. But Melly steps on out, will get a trade, but Leo and Grim both picking up a kill. They finish this off. We'll bring this to within 3 rounds here. It is still 7-4 for the V6 Academy team. The Cataclysm, nice little round, and honestly came from those early picks, Sugar.
Came from those early picks and the early pressure through mid, both and I believe it was Sam who was just partnered up with each other. Havoc not being the first one down, but also like Sam just dying to the Hunter Fury off rip from CG, who just got aggressive early on again through and whoever else was pressing with them through mid and now CG. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's still like they're still like on the back burner just a little bit. V6 Academy did take a hit in that last round by losing, but it's not too much to the point where they're not able to full buy. They're able to full buy this round. They have an operator in the who has been just absolutely amazing and hitting his first shot from the shadows being found out, getting that intel. But I mean, this V6 Academy again have cycling, and they're able to box CG out of it.
That was a spicy play from Yoon, though, to get up into A heaven, standing right beside Leo there. But Danny will be able to pick him off first. No, not beside Yuno. It was Grim up in A heaven there. My apologies, but yeah. Either way, that was a spicy play. Seeing the barrel sticking on out will be a double swing here. Danny comes around the corner, picking up 2, but 9 is gonna be answering back. Finds at least 1, but Danny with the 4K. You can see him dancing in celebration right there. Woo! Let's go, Danny. 8-4 for V6. And final round before we, wait, no. Not final round before we switch. It is the round that we switch. Not this hard some days, Sugar. But hey, this is where things I think are going to get very interesting. 8-4, not, you know, the most giant gap we've seen here on Haven. And the fact that CG, this is their map pick, and now they're on the advantageous side for any team on Haven. This is where things I think are going to spice up. But let's see what CG are going to do with it. It is a pistol round. But it can only go upwards from here, right? Right?
I think so. I want to see. I was so excited. I'm so excited to see what the Neon does from Yuno, because Yuno was last week against Team Syndicate was able to capitalize off of so much aggression using the speed, using the fast lane, and using the flashes all in one on the attacking half for CG. Against Team Syndicate, V6A Academy. They're looking to get aggressive like they were on Vine on their defenses. But they get that first kill, they die immediately. CG finds 2, but Sam finds 2 as well. Oh my god, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, a little bit of stacking there from V6. They're a little bit bunched up, and they will get punished for that one. You still have Yoon on the map who is lurking around. But CG make their way to A site. It's 2v1. They're going to go ahead and get the plant. And it's really in Yoon's hands here if they can try and find that clutch. Be really sick if they could, but again, on a pistol round, this comes down to some pixel perfect shooting here. And a frenzy is going to require you to get in the faces of your enemy. This being this A site, you can see already where these members of CG are posted up. Actually in hell right now. Got the cross angles watched over right now. Yoon is going to be taking some dinks, brought real low, and Leo finishes him off. I think that was honestly center, perfect to the forehead there. Beautiful little pickup as CG shortened the lead. It is only 3 rounds away still for V6, 8-5 on this second map. CG, got to keep this momentum going. You see, we are going to have a lot of Spectres picked up. Brain moments, sorry. Picked up here. And a save round for V6. So, again, expecting this to go to the round of CG. You never know at the end of the day. But I'm excited to see if CG is going to be going back to their aggressive game, Sugar.
Well, for V6 Academy, they took a gamble last round. And that gamble was to just fully push the attackers in their own spawns. And it didn't work out too well. Now, CG, they win the first round of the half, meaning that they get a full buy. But Muffin Man, again, V6 Academy, they want to try and get aggressive this time. That's not really Danny's just isolated by himself. He does have the classic all by himself, and you're not gonna beat full Spectres with the free gun. That's just not gonna happen, and he dies off rip. Now CG find their way into C long, but maybe a smoke or a paranoia here from Muffin Man, not Muffin, from you can throw them off. The smoke being sent all the way over to where
it's blocked out. We do see another member C long. Sam will at least get a single trade on out, and it's up to Havoc here as the spike will go down. Havoc from C long on a classic finds a kill. But honestly, I like the setup from V6 there. They were in some really good, really interesting positions like Danny. Like, you wouldn't expect someone to be all the way up there.
Yeah.
At that point, though, it was gun diff that round, Sugar. Like, there was no competing with all the Spectres firing your way. So CG, get another round. It's 6-8. It's only 2 rounds between these teams. Again, the momentum in the favor of CG, but now we're seeing some big buys coming on out here from the side of V6. Heavy investment in those Vandals and those Phantoms. So let's see if they can put them to good use. Get themselves back in the driver's seat once again. B-site is the target as in come the members of CG. Yoon is ready and waiting for it as Sam will be picking up a kill as well too. Here come the rest swinging around together. Havoc and Yoon able to pick off Muffin Man there. Yoon with a 3K as well. and just so set up, so prepared. It just went all wrong for CG. They put out all their utility, and V6 just cleaned them out.
Yeah, I mean, CG knew that they were on a gun diff this round, and so they wanted to take a gamble, just like how V6 took a gamble in that first pistol round of the half by just full pushing into B, using that fast lane in order to just block the lines of sight, then rush into A link, maybe get a kill. And then if B wasn't successful, maybe they can go for an A hit since they do have link control. It just doesn't work out for CG. Unfortunately for them, Academy had those crosses covered, and they're forced into a blender as you would expect them to be. Leo doesn't have anything to say here apart from the bulldog, so he could just die and be able to buy up in the very next round. The Fuser is not in a retrieval position because, I mean, look at the amount of players stacked up here from V6 Academy. And also, look at this. Havoc is about to flank Leo and he's second. He just turned Havoc is the hunter and Leo is the head. It is V6 Academy to take the 9th round, but I mean, that is a round where you would expect them to take it because they have the better weaponry. But also, that was just a desperate attempt at making something work, which doesn't usually work, which is a B-site hit when everybody's in a really good position for V6 Academy to thwart you on your attempts now. So, both teams.
I love these flanks from Havoc, though, Sugar. These have been all over the place, sometimes hitting, sometimes missing, but that one, quite nice. I like that.
You know, I like it too. I've been liking Havoc a lot in this game. I know we talked about Dan a little bit on fine, but Havoc has been having some real influence. I want to see how that works on a defensive half, especially when he does end up getting an operator in his hands. Because I feel like him and Leo have most definitely been very effective on the chamber so far. I'm just waiting to see. I was gonna mention, just a little bit. I was waiting to see, would have some sort of effect on the attack, like I thought he would, but not too good so far.
No, a little bit of faltering today for Yuno, and unfortunately, when V6 is on it today, everybody has a cohesive unit. It's gonna catch you a little bit in the El Derriere there. So let's see what CG can do with 4 members here. Is slowly making their way over to A site. But again, something we talked about, the past few weeks of seeing CG, their best success has come from when they have just gone and sent it on these sites. You got to be able to trust yourself. You got to be able to trust your teammates. And right now, it seems a lot of hesitation coming from this Cataclysm squad. So now we see they are making their way over here, but V6 is going to be also rotating as well. Danny catching out Grim in the smoke. 9 will at least be able to get a couple back. And whoa! 9 picks up 4 members. Almost the whole squad there. I do believe Muffman was able to finish him off there. That was extremely close. Just as the score is for this map, 7-9 here. Cataclysm with 7, V6 with 9. It ain't over till it's over. But I think a little bit of an oopsie poopsie there from V6. A little too clumped up coming out of that choke point onto A.
Yeah, another thing that I want to point it out on, I think the reason why CG were winning so is because initially it looked like they wanted to do either a B or C hit. Then noticing the amount of firepower and also just giving up that first pick kind of made them slow down and then rethink their choices. And so they made the perfect decision to go to A, which wasn't really well defended or held onto by V6 Academy, forcing them to do that retake. And also just V6 Academy rushing from A link and not clearing kill is a mystery to me because that's usually where Crossfire is held. Now CG find their way back inside of the site, and it's up to V6 Academy to do the retake, but Ethan is already falling off the metal. Melly's struggling so hard. Grim finds another, and CG just keep claiming heads.
CG finding some good success on this A site, and again, you see those angles. That's realistically, V6 has no other option but to push through them. CG just able to cover up super duper well. Now, still covering the smokes here. Danny going to be forced to run to the other side of the map and try to go for whatever saves they can. Because, again, heavily invested into these guns, heavily invested into full shields. And now, all the way to the other side of the map. We'll see if, Havoc. Havoc is still able to at least pick one of these members of CG off. So it will not be a flawless round. But CG bringing it within 1. This has gotten a little bit too close. And V6 probably thinking, okay, we do not want to let this get to the point where CG potentially take back this lead. But for CG, it's do or die right now for this series. And they have been looking really, really good. So not too surprised if we see yet another A attempt on this round here. It's been going so well for them just because of the angles that they're able to hold.
Deploying drone.
Yeah. Also, just been able to push V6 Academy off of the site, force them into retake positions, and then establishing crossfires is also a bonus on Haven, where Haven is a map in itself where clearing crossfires is genuinely very, very hard, whether you are in a retake situation or whether you are trying to clear site itself. So CG, they're taking a pace slow for now. And it doesn't look like they're going for the aggression from Danny. Not spotted out, so I don't think that's the reason why they're not going for it. It just looks like they're waiting for this recon dart to hit. Then the Hunter's Fury comes out. Havoc smartly using the rendezvous to go away, but that is a nice kill from and CG find an opener, and they find site control, and they find the plant.
Yeah.
No, they don't find a plant. Sorry.
Oh, no, I don't know if they're even going for a plant there. I for a minute I saw it just left on in the courtyard there, but honestly, great entry from but it was initially the recon bolt from Grim that spotted out Havoc in this really ridiculous spot on top of the boxes where Muffin Man is right now, and they say, hey, you're gonna try and use this spot against us. No. We've got you here. So picking up another one, and it's all in Danny. Sorry, what? Danny trying for some big plays there, is not gonna be able to pull it off. Cataclysm tie things up. It is 9-9. Potential force here of our final map number 3 on Icebox. Again, it ain't over till it's all over. The CG have been looking immaculate these past few rounds, and they got the spike down, but that was just mostly kills. That entire round, that's just a quick old death match, Sugar.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you talked about Graham just a little bit and how the recon dart spotted out that position from Havoc. I think it was the Hunter's Fury to knock him off his perch, because Havoc actually was not spotted out by the recon dart. He was actually forced off of his perch from the Hunter's Fury, which was so close to hitting him, and if it hits you, it does ping you while also doing an immense amount of damage. But also, Sam was just isolated from the site because Havoc had to force himself off at that angle. Well, there you go. That Cataclysm crumbles. Sam is still actually in the side of C right now, even though CGD have direct control of it. Sam is in a very aggressive position. May he do something by platform. That haunt spotting out, that's a really good haunt too. CG find 2, find 3, 9. Now Danny. But 3v2.
Danny over the boxes here, but Grim is ready and waiting. CG, they have taken the lead here. Oh my goodness. And I know this is a little retroactive, but even going back to the round before, the one we just saw, how Grim knew Havoc was up on those boxes, because I think that was the first time we saw it this round. Just immaculate prediction here. But now, using that confidence, what we've seen from CG, what we've been asking for all series, all split, is, hey, send it. Put your foot down on the gas pedal and let's get things moving. We've seen these quick, aggressive rounds where CG are able to hit up the site super aggressive work for them. They have the skills to follow that play up, and I want to see more and more of that. So let's see if they're going to go for something aggressive like that again, starting things off slow, which, you know what, to be fair, the last couple of rounds did start off slow, but they did not stop that way. They did not end with CG going slow into these sites. A little bit of a trade there in B Courtyard. As we will see both teams now down to just 4 members. A lot of ults, though, available. Has the fast lane available once again if they decide to go for that. Maybe make a little bit of noise mid here. Send your team A. You have Muff Man lurking around behind I'm sure they're conferring with the team, saying, okay, what's going to be the play? Are we going to decide to go full man? But yeah, fast lane. Tossed on up there.
Yeah, that fast lane might attract some attention towards B. Also, I want to mention V6 Academy are on a little bit of a rough buy as well. But they are also taking it slow, and Melly wins out that gunfight, is able to trade out the weapons. Danny with the showstopper kill. Leo finds the trade back. CG at a numbers disadvantage, not in a really good position to get the plant off just because of the immense pressure from literally everywhere from V6 Academy. But Leo is managing, so is Muffin Man, and now we're in a 1v1. Sam confirms the kill with the aftershock. Muffin Man with the big cojones is gonna still go down for the plant with the player right next to him, but it doesn't matter because Melly, Captain, is able to confirm that kill and tie up the game for V6 Academy.
This is so tight, Sugar. Back and forth so far this game. V6 will tie it back up 10-10. Potential overtime matches rounds in the near future, but again, it ain't over till it's over. But that was honestly really nice. Good start from CG, absolutely, but really nicely done on the retake here for V6. Just I think a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more spread out in terms of the angles that they were able to watch here coming on to A, and did not get themselves caught out in those choke positions. So that's all I want to see here from V6 because they've got the potential. They just did it right there. But it's those times where they kind of bust through as a four-person squad through a little doorway. It's like, no, that will not work for you guys. Let's see who's going to be able to come out on top of this one. The ults are available, a couple of them at least across the board, as Leo is watching down sewers with that tour de force once again. Oh my god, indeed. This game is insane. I love these VLS players. They always put on a show for us. One for one trade out here around the A site. Still got those sewers being held on down, but swinging around the corner. Danny picking off two lovely little headshots for them. Grim will at least be able to get the trade on out, but CG is down. It is 3-2 right now, as V6 will continue holding this one down. And honestly, if I'm Sam right now, I got my eyes on Sam because potentially could look for a flank angle here, cut off these members of CG. They are caught A long, and I think V6 might have an idea where they are.
Yeah, I want to give some criticism though from CG because they didn't really. Oh well, hold up. That might have to.
Grim.
Yes, he's right. He checks that. At first, he was looking straight ahead. It looked like he tunnel visioned towards Yoon, using that recon dart though to clear some space. Confirm that the A site is clear, though that fault line coming through, no aggression yield or coming from it. Yoon looking the completely wrong way. There's nobody in hell. Both players are by the middle box, but he finds one. And now it's Grim versus Yoon. One of the highest rated players in BLS.
Oh my god.
Grim, but he's only got a classic. What are you doing? He finally finds the headshot. And it is Grim to clutch out the 1v1. You saw a squeal. Well, you didn't see us, but you heard a squeal like little girls. And I mean, it was for very good reason because Grim, I think he I want to say he ran out of ammo, but then he switched back to the Vandal like really quickly. So I don't think so. I don't know what he was doing with the classic there. That was kind of weird.
That's spicy. That's my sugar. 2 bullets left. Only needed one of them, but that was way too close. A nice attempt by Yoon there to try and play up on top of the boxes there. Oh my god. I love what these teams have been trying to pull off tonight. Some of these more crazy, intense plays. We are going to see the Hunter's Fury coming out from Grim. Wow. Takes chunks, absolute chunks, maybe even an arm or leg there out of the members of V6. You see, I think it's Danny, Havoc, and Yoon there on 20 HP apiece. So that's gonna make things a little bit more difficult. As now V6 maybe predicting a switch around here from Cataclysm have all decided to go and set up on this A site, and they might have actually made the right call. So let's watch them here as in come the members of Cataclysm. They're going to be taking it nice and slow here as they're walking through the lobby, through the sewers, splitting up just a little bit. 3 members in sewers here. Grim going to be the one to lead, clear those corners. But look at Havoc. Look at Sam posted up, ready for the swing. So let's see if they can do it together. You got Yoon and Melly at the back behind the boxes. And once again, Sam is able to get at least trade out. CG find 3, 4, 5, 4. And now 5. Sorry, my math was a little bit off there. Muffin Man finishes off Danny, and Cataclysm on match point, about to force a game 3 onto Icebox.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for CG, not CG, sorry. At least luckily for V6 Academy, they're able to buy up in this round. That last round was just the reason why they were huddled up onto site like that. Maybe they didn't even expect CG to come to them, and and the reason why I'm saying that is because of the fact that V6 Academy had their weak weapons. They had the shorties. But then again, that could have been also a big brain read for them. So I want to give them their compliments because that was almost made very close. They took out 4 players, but the Neon Ultimate coming out from who's just making his way inside the site. The fault line coming in, the overdrive getting the first kill, and 9 finding the second.
Yuno's pissed as the neon line came out. Absolutely pissed, man. But that was a nice cleanup with the neon ult there. The overdrive being put to extremely good use now. 3v2, 3v3. Sorry, what just happened? V6? V6 will not go down without a fight, but you just got a 1v1 here. Danny versus Leo. Danny taking the belt for the Clutch King potentially here. Oh my god. Leo, 1 kill away from closing things out and ensuring a map 3, but Danny ain't giving up yet.
Oh yeah, he better hide in that corner. Imagine if he threw it at an angle or the paint shell just came right at him and bit him in the ass.
That would have been a clippable moment. That would have been maybe top clips for Victoris here. That
been
absolutely insane.
For V6 Academy. But still though, V6 Academy, we have this timeout coming in from CG. But V6 Academy with their economy not looking too hot. They don't really have a lot of players that are able to buy up. Havoc is going to have to buy up on some headhunt rounds because he is forced onto the classic. And we do have a Bulldog and Phantom Minnows being played. Otherwise, for CG, their economy has been looking very clean throughout the whole entire game because they've been able to consistently find rounds and keep, not only that, but also keep themselves in the lead. And their economy has prospered because of that. I mean, they're still able to full buy in this despite losing that really nice retake situation that we saw from Academy. And even though they win that V6 Academy, they also cup a lot of players on that retake, and so now they're forced to rebuy. Timeout coming out now though from CG Grim, looking to control his players' heads. Zen, calm it down a little bit because you're on match point. You don't want this to go into OT. You want us to go to a third map, and it will be Icebox if we go to that third map. But let's see what V6 Academy have to say about that.
Maybe it's a calm down talk, but if anything, for CG, I want Grim and chat there hyping their players up, saying, okay, we got to send it. We got to fully rock and roll right now, because if we can do this right here, right now, there is no threat of overtime. We just make it to the map 3. So, CG, I want big things. I'm expecting big things, big plays here. Danny, is already getting lit up down in sewers. He's going to be having to run away with the last little bit of HP that remains in that health bar. Let's see what CG got in their back pockets. I think, Sugar, you might be more right in terms of the slow things down, because you can see that CG have just posted up. Danny plays things a little bit too fast, a little bit too loose there, and I won't be able to pick him off. Havoc, though, picking up that Recon Bolt, will be able to trade out onto Grim. So now 4v4 across the board. We got 2 Omen ults available here. Maybe some crazy cross-map plays, or maybe CG are just going to run the flying V here and go ahead and aim for this B site. But you can hear the Omen ult is coming out. Yoon is lurking around. Let's see what angles they're going to be playing. Smoked on off from that angle. Will not be able to at least go through there for now. In they come. Spike goes down. V6 going to have to go for the retake here. But look at the angles they're coming on in from. V6 Sam is going to be covered there by 3. Muffin Man making their way onto the boxes there and B site. Nelly just outside. They have a good idea where this fade is going to be, and Muffin Man cleans them up. Still, though, numbers have ended for CG. They find another one up onto the boxes. Yoon will be able to get a kill on a Muffin Man. Havoc with a nice headshot. It's 2v2. Is this going to overtime? Is this going to match 3? Right here, right now, we decide as Yoon will go for the defuse, but Yuno knows where that spike is. It's Cataclysm taking it back, and we are tied up 1-1. Wow.
Yeah. Really good map coming out there from both teams, actually. And It was just towards the end where we saw CG just do what CG do best. Even though we talk about them moving slow just a little bit, sometimes it's warranted, especially when V6 Academy when the team like V6 Academy are as impatient as they are. When they don't get the opening pick, they tend to just like move in to try and take the gunfight to try and find an early pick, or they just completely move to another area to kill and give up like space or give up map control or give up sight, like we saw them do plenty of.
Yeah, that was awesome. Kev, are you in your Zen mode now, my friend?
I have ascended. Um, my prediction rate is absolutely through the roof at this point. Can I make you an offer?
What is your
Map
offer?
3. I
Uh-huh.
predicted it from the beginning. Map 1
You did.
went to V6. Map 2
Uh-huh.
went to CG. It's going to be a hype icebox here in the last map. Both teams, like I said, have taken a single map thus far. But it will be just I mean, that was absolutely crazy. Grim popped off so hard at certain points in that game, picking up some pretty clutch situations. But instead, as I'm going to actually sit back down here a little bit, I'm just excited for Game 3. My first VLS series, my first time hosting, or even being a part of any Victoris Valorant, already going to a map 3.
Yeah, this is it's been a banger so far tonight. Like this is just back and forth, great stuff. It's a good start for V6 on that map, but again, Haven very attacker sided. And once CG started to put a little bit more gas in their step there, yeah, that's where things really came undone for V6. So really well done. We get a game 3, and of course, for all the friends joining us from over on Victoris GG, we got one more map to go. It is game 3 on Icebox. Do or die here for V6. Cataclysm, second place team, is looking really, really good, but it's going to be a question mark here because Icebox, very interesting map, a lot of crazy angles. The way a V6 have played tonight, they might throw some mind games in here and do some funny stuff that I'm very excited to see how it's going to go down. But only time will tell, my friends, if CG are going to lock things in or if Kevbo is just absolutely cracked at predictions tonight.
Any immediate reactions to that match? Anything to say going forward into this icebox?
Mm, I want to obviously Graham had a lot of good ones in there, but like I also want to give my hats out to Leo and Muffin Man. Muffin Man had a really big 1-2 clutch where V6 Academy were just looking a completely like wrong way, but like I digress. It was a nice clutch from him, and he also had his moments too. 9 also had some good moments, especially with the multi kill from Hell, where V6 Academy again. This wasn't a situation of just them not. Well, this was also another situation of them just not looking the right way and not really clearing their angles properly, and they just rushed right into sight on the retake. We saw everybody have their chance when CG went on the attacking round. Who started off the game very poorly, started to pick up multi kills at the end, started to do really good stuff with his ultimate. So again, that's where I stress the Neon is going to be more important on the attack than she is on the defense, and that applies to almost every match. She doesn't really have a lot of utility to help her, but CG really did put on a show for us in that attacker half. Again, we could talk about their pace, but I mean, they took it slow for a reason. That's because V6 Academy, they love to get aggressive. They love those up and nasty gunfights. And we saw Danny overextend a lot, maybe way too much at times. And he was like the first pick, not a good chunk of the times, but he was still the opening pick as well as like maybe have at sometimes too. So I want to say for V6 Academy, slow down on that early aggression. And if you are going to go for that early aggression, make sure you back off time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see what the teams do decide to adjust going into this decider map. Game 3 stakes couldn't be higher for V6 Academy here, but we will have to find out what does come of that icebox map after a short break. We'll see you in just a few. All right, here we go as my camera still refuses to work properly. Absolutely insane stuff in game 2. Coming into a game 3 decider last week of the regular season, stakes could not be higher for V6 Academy. lose and you're out, win and you're still praying for a miracle. But coming into this game 3, we are on Icebox. I don't quite remember who is on what side to start out with, but Gurf, what do both these teams need to do, and where are they starting out in this game?
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. First of all, Icebox, one of my favorite maps that we get to cast and get to see these players play on. Because, like I was mentioning, lots of crazy stuff that these that you can kind of approach these sites with. But V6 on the attacker side first, I would expect some wild stuff, maybe potentially towards that A site, or maybe playing within the boxes towards B. There's a lot of, again, like I said, ways you can kind of approach these angles. So from V6, return to what we saw in game 1. We saw a few attempts of it on on Haven there, where they were trying to find those weird angles, those weird picks. Danny's getting a little in there, but you need to do it when you at least have someone backing you up. Again, that's where we saw V6 succeeding, is when they play around each other. So going off solo, maybe not the greatest. Playing those weird picks and at least having someone to back you up, that's what I want to see from V6. CG, again, playing their game. They took things slow, and it seemed to, work out for them. I know I've said it a few times already tonight, but when they decide to hit up a site, when they decide to make a movement, no hesitation can be there. And they've shown us many, many times there in that last map in Haven, where when they are on, they are on. And just the map knowledge that they had on Haven there, for even Grim to use the Hunter's Fury there on top of the box, saying, "Hey, I think someone's up here." That's what I'm expecting from CG, is to play to their strengths, play to their extremely good knowledge of these maps. So we'll have to see, though. Icebox can be a mixed match here. It was a close one between CG and Team Syndicate last week. It was 13-11. So we'll have to see if that happens again. Sugar, what do you think?
I fully agree with what you said. I'm just hoping for a good game on Icebox. That's quite literally it. It's been a long night. I have like a really bad migraine too. So I just
As we've heard from our overlord that apparently there is a patch that is preventing us from continuing on forward. So for now, we are going to throw it to just a short little break while both players and production are able to get through a little bit of an update. But we will be back with this series very shortly. Stick around. The stakes couldn't be higher.
What's
All
up?
right, we are back. We are updated in every way, shape, and form. I too have become stronger and have less glitches. Um, I don't even need these anymore, honestly. I mean, no glasses needed. But we are getting ready for a third map to come through. Um, as unfortunate stuff with my camera here being a little wonky, but we will make it on through. I believe looking at both these teams and seeing what we want to see adjusted from them. Of course, a very tense situation to decide both seeding and possibly playoffs contention. Uh, Gurf, I know you had spoken a little bit. Sugar, any thoughts outside of, just maybe seeing, I guess, is there a specific play or a specific site that is you think these teams are going to focus on in this match? Do you think that there is going to be something that is so big that it will just decide the series?
It's tough to say because
Yeah.
there is a lot of different factors that can go into what site they want to approach, depending on what agents we see. Question mark on the classics, the Sage Viper that come out on Icebox, which is just extremely, extremely good. More leaning towards the Viper, but you pair up a Sage there and as well too. The Viper's Pit, the Viper Util, along with the Sage Balls can be just damning when you're going to hold down a spike after you planted it. So I'm hoping we see something like that. If so, whoever's got that in their hands obviously is going to have a little bit of an advantage. But again, we could see some plays towards some of the new stuff coming out on this patch. Again, Reina Yoru still up on the board. We saw Danny run it last game. But let's see if they're going to be opting for something like that once again. What do you think, Sugar?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard until we get into the games because I thought V6 Academy would have gone with a much more wilder comp than what we saw in Haven. So maybe it'll be a little bit different on Icebox because again, Reina is still is very much an option now. Some teams, at least for the VC game changes from when I was able to tune in earlier today, was playing a little bit of Reina and also in the CLG Valor Pit tournament that happens every now and again. There was some Reina and some Yoru being played. So you can make it wasn't necessarily for Icebox, it was for other maps, but still you can make the argument for Reina being in there. Obviously, you raised the question on Viper Sage. I know CG actually played the Viper Sage last week. If I'm wrong, then correct me please. But I'm pretty sure they played the Viper Sage last week. I think it was Team Syndicate who didn't bring it out, or at least the Sage they brought the Viper. But for CG, I mean, you can make the argument for Sage not being there because you could also for a KO or even a KJ feeling a little bit frisky, but it's tough to say because we also saw Yoru last being really well utilized from Team Syndicate on this map.
Yeah, I definitely think that champion picks could have a bit of an impact. I'm going to be interested to see what strategies these teams do decide to pull out, especially on a map like Icebox, that is a little bit more condensed. There's not as many long angles to pull out something like an up. I really want to see. I think both these teams maybe try to slow it down a little bit, which should favor, I think, CG in the long run. We'll have to see though how aggressive and how defensive these teams are going to decide to be. But I believe we are ready for our character select screen, so we'll have to wait and see if we get anything spicy right here at the start. Gurf and Sugar, take it away.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's time. It's time. It's time to pick some agents. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us now, welcome to week 7, the last and final week before we get into playoffs starting next Thursday. And right now, V6, they took game 1 on Ascent. Cataclysm, clap back on Haven, take that one. And now we are left with one of the spiciest, most fun maps I do have the privilege of casting. So, question marks across the board in terms of agents, in terms of approaches, in terms of what we are going to see here. We do have, hold on, up here on this side, well, boom, at least one Viper coming through. Will we see another from CG?
I'm not worried about the Viper or anything being from CG.
What are you thinking?
What the hell are these picks from V6 Academy?
Yes.
Breach, KJ. I mentioned the KJ briefly.
Yes.
Raze and Fade are fine, but Breach I'm scared of, and not for a good reason. Breach is not played on Icebox because mainly just due to the size of it. It's almost like playing Breach on a Breeze or something, because of how big the map is in some areas. Breach just doesn't find a lot of play. His Rolling Thunder isn't necessarily effective for clearing out the site, if it not clearing out a site or clearing out an area as effectively as if it were a smaller map like Bind, like Fracture, for example, or even Haven, where there's a lot of tight corners. Even though the map is like kind of big itself, the areas in the map aren't big. So Breach is freaking me out. I've never seen a Breach on Icebox. I've never seen a Breach on Icebox, and I can't believe I'm seeing it right now. It's different. I said I wanted to see different, and I'm seeing it right now. But I'm shocked.
Hey, you know what? The way we've seen Danny play tonight, he has been built different. Let's see if that does come through here. Again, final match here of the regulations, as we are gonna wave the hands, and then we get to see the full shebang here. Hold on, I'm kind of peeking. Pretend to be peeking behind the boxes. I gotta troll my producer a little bit. Love you, homie. Here we go, though. Final map of the night, and Cataclysm versus V6 here. V6 starting off on the defender side here. So let's see what the answer is going to be for Cataclysm, and what Cataclysm really plans on doing here. They're going to take a nice slow approach towards this A site as we send the drones on in to scope anybody who's out here. But I do agree with you, Sugar. It's going to be a little interesting seeing how the breach is utilized on a map like Icebox, because we don't usually get to see them too frequently. Luckily though, we do get the double Vipers here. No Sages available. One advantage though, I think I might give on over to the side of Cataclysm, is the fact that we do have Grim back on that Sova once again. Really good for scoping out these areas. Again, I mentioned Icebox has a lot of tight corners, and you are going to need that information. You're going to need to find a way to get that information to yourself and to your team if you're going to be successful in making your way onto these sites. So let's see what the plan of attack is going to be. Cataclysm changing their mind, I think, heading towards that B site.
Yeah, they are most definitely heading towards the B site. It's a little bit clearer, though. The only thing that's really blocking their path, and that would waste a lot of time, is the Nano Swarm that Sam could activate at any moment. And it looks like he might just do that. The Nano Swarm does go off, but CG aren't planning there. There's nobody by Snowman to wallbang the Sova, who was planting right in front of Snowman, whereas a V6 Academy player could have been. Young dies, Leos and finds that. Finds a second, third, triple kill, and it's a flawless from CG to start us out on map number 3 of Icebox.
Not a drop of sweat broken here by the Cataclysm gamers. They clean that one up. They stomp on in, they get the plant down, and force V6 into their hands and say, all right, you want to go? We got some schmoves over here as well too. Really well done to help clean that up. And honestly, V6 that was extremely aggressive on the retake. They all just kind of barged on in there, and Cataclysm, no. We have angles. We have this held down. You cannot do this to us. No, thank you. Let's see. Only the first round though. Cataclysm started off. We'll have to see if they're gonna go for another A-side attack. But hey, I never see the breach util actually being used here, and maybe that might be the idea here. Is it could potentially offer a lot of good lockdown on the side of A. But if your Cataclysm say, hey, you know what? Screw A. Let's just go towards B. We just saw the breach util used, so let's make our way over. You see they're able to get over tube here, and already 3 members towards this site. We do have a couple trades already. 2 for 2 is Cataclysm actually going to be finding Sam, trying to loop around the back of that B site. Down goes the spike, and it is a 3v2 situation here. Danny and Yoon, the last one standing here for V6. But Danny, I've seen better health bars there. That's going to be a little bit unfortunate for him, especially being on a classic 1 HP. And a dream could not be defined any more definitely than that. So let's see if they can close this out. But realistically, Cataclysm got themselves a second round here. As that spike is ticking on down, they will be able to at least pick up a Bulldog here to see if they can get anybody swinging out from this. But for now, CG will close this out. They pick off Danny as well, and that will be another round for the Cataclysm game.
Yeah, that was a save round though. From V6 Academy, as the trend goes, you win the first round, or you lose the first round, and then you have to save in the second. So that was true for V6 Academy, and you lose 2 rounds in a row, and guess what? You get to full buy onto rifles. I'm waiting to see what we get in the 4th round if V6 Academy end up winning this round, because they do have that gun diff, to see what the purpose of like the breach and the KJ pick are, because I've seen like of course breach is positioned over mainly by A, so where he's going to be most seen effective by, but you see the KJ utility also being set up on B. The nano swarms were set up on B in the very first round, and now you have the turret, you have the alarm bot in kitchen, and the alarm bot at the bottom of 2. So again, that just speaks to how crucial KJ can be on, not crucial, but how good KJ can be in situations on the map when it comes to zoning and when it comes to holding off the pushes. But Havoc's just left to die. Unify mid, and that is CG to fall. V6 Academy, you know, they give up the control of the A site, playing behind the KJ utility. And even though they left Havoc to die, CG re-challenged those angles through the middle of B and die off rip just to those gunfights from V6 Academy.
Yeah, Havoc doing a little salute saying, "Go on, my friends, you must win." So, at least we see V6 being able to pull back around here. They're going to get some better buys through as well, too. Going to be a question mark on what gun is going to be run here for Havoc, is currently holding on to that classic. And does not have that showstopper available quite yet. It's still quite early on in this match, so let's see what the option is going to be. Actually going for Guardian. Okay, spicy stuff here. Sitting on this A site. Let's see what the action is going to be here. Cataclysm, again, we've seen this here. Kind of hover around A site. They make a little bit of noise, and if V6 decide to answer and utilize their utility, decide to blow it all, holding them off here, we're going to see, I think, an immediate switch over to the B site, but you see where Grim and Yuno are lined up here in this corner. You see Havoc. Almost the process. Oh, almost trading out with Grim there, but I saw the thought process going through here. It's like, do I zipline? Do I take it? Do I risk it? Havoc sneaking around here. You got Yuno just around the corner, and now CG are going to be making the plays here. Bomb Buddy going out to at least start to clear out. Viper's Wall does go up. A little bit of toxins coming down from Muffin Man towards the back of the site as another Bomb Buddy goes out. It's Bomb Buddies all around. They actually spot each other out. Yuno will find a kill on the V6 Melly there. As down a member they are. Cataclysm will go for the plant there. Sam trying to pick anybody off here from heaven. On the catwalk, gets picked off, and CG are cleaning this one up. It's only Yoon left with the Phantom. 3 members of CG remaining. Spike is down. And again, I mentioned those angles. There is a lot of coverage that CG are going to be able to get here. It's going to be so hard for Yoon to try and get this one back.
3 players left alive. And the way that they're holding the spike plant, you have Yuno in an aggressive position across 410 or on top of 410. And Leo, is right behind it. Yuno's the only one going to get aggressive. Takes out the last player for V6 Academy. And now, I mean, 3-1 so far, but again, I'm still trying to figure out, like, the KJ, of course, I don't have any questions about the KJ from V6 Academy. I know of KJ's potential on the map. It's trying to get the lockdown in a really good position in order to be effective because of how big Icebox is in certain areas. It's the breach. I just don't, like, I don't see the breach coming to fruition. I'm not really seeing a lot of the flash plays and him being effective for A-site holds. I want to see what the plan is for him, and I'm trying really hard to focus on the breach to see what the effectiveness is. But right now, I'm not seeing it. That's a nice knife to get into, but also stun the KJ, who could have had utility set up by B. And if they did, then they wouldn't have been able to use it because they were suppressed. Maybe this frees up some space towards B site because again, there's no KJ utility here. The wall is already up, but once the toxins run low for Viper, it goes down, and she has to wait so long for it to be risen back up.
Oh, Havoc again playing those flank angles. Grim and Muffin Man were prepared for that one, but now the Hunter's Fury to see if they can clear anybody out here. Grim Trying for some more, going for that back end of B. Not going to be able to clear anybody out with that one. Though, back to that util on KJ. I think, honestly, place outside of 2 because that's where CG has been playing around a lot. But here come the kills. Here come the trades. 1 for 1. Sam is going to find a couple more. Same with Yoon. Will pick up 1 for themselves. And V6 clean this round up decisively and bring it to within 1 round. Maybe still a little bit of stumbles there in the early start of this map, but definitely those aggressive retakes, playing for those have been going much, much better these past couple rounds.
Yeah, I thought CG, they initially used that knife to get in to also suppress the abilities of the KJ, and you know who you suppress once that knife hits. And so they don't immediately move in to take that space and just get a plant down when the Vipers fall and the mollies come up. And so V6 Academy, they're able to reposition the breach back to B, use that rolling thunder, and completely throw CG off with some unbridled aggression that wasn't matched from CG at all. Like I said, I wanted to see the breach's effectiveness. Well, it came through his ultimate. But, you don't get that ultimate every round. You can't buy it up. So V6 Academy, they have to find, again, some way to implement the breach more effectively here. That was an effective round from him. I just want to see more from his utility if they can find a way.
Yeah, insert the Kylo Ren meme, right? More. Yeah. I absolutely agree. If they can keep consistently making use out of this breach, maybe prove us wrong, maybe making their own meta work. Though again, Grim and loving this corner in A site. They are going to be pushing up a little bit more aggressively, but again, a lot of KJ util has been put down on this site. So when they decide to go ahead and pop it, or at least this turret is going to be giving someone away, the alarm bot should be activated relatively soon too. As 9 is finally going to step in. The nano swarms are popped. CG walking on in though, will find a kill on Havoc, ripping around the back end of this site too. 9 finds a kill there, and now trying for that showstopper. Lets it rip, finds a beauty kill on the melee. Yoon will at least be able to get a kill on Again, hasn't been too confusing. We've at least been able to differentiate these two so far tonight. And Danny, a nice little flick into the corner to pick off 9. As we got a 3v2 situation, CG with that numbers advantage. Let's see if V6 can close it out. You got Yoon, you got Danny, but it's against Grim, it's against Leo, it's against Muffin Man. And it's going to be a tough one to try and retake. You see the frenzy from the back end, Muffin Man. I love the attempt. I love the solid try. And I love it when it actually works, Muffin Man. From downtown with the frenzy to pick 1. Grim will clean it up. And CG make it a little bit more spacious between these rounds. It's 4-2 for them. This map, it's heating up. It's speeding up. And it's spicing up.
Yeah, I mean, CG were also... That was a 3-3 round. They were on a save after that loss in, I believe it was the 4th round, where V6 Academy were able to make it a 3-2. Now CG make it 4-2, able to bypass the KJ utility. It didn't matter how much time there was or how much time they wasted. They killed the KJ first, making her utility ineffective, and so KJ couldn't activate it on time to further push CG back. We're able to just run inside of sight, get their first few kills with those sheriffs, with those frenzies, make the space, plant the spike, and then play the post plant and pick up weapons. Gets the first kill onto Havoc, and again that frees up some space towards that mid area. But again, CG are kind of playing for time here. They know V6 Academy love to either they move around the map a lot. They get unsettled easily, and when they do, V6 Academy either overextend, they over rotate, or they over peak because they're so impatient.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it is. I've really liked watching the attempted flanks tonight when they work. It's fantastic to see from Havoc, but that is kind of the high risk, high reward of actually going for those super duper deep flanks when you're on defender side too. So that is going to be a little bit more tough for V6 here. CG barging on into this the B site. Get my letters mixed up too. Math was already hard enough, and letters are apparently becoming difficult too. But CG making this one look too easy. This round getting absolutely cleaned up, and only one left. Leo will make sure that number becomes 0 real quick. Headshot onto Danny. CG extend this to 3. 5-2 for them. And honestly, I am liking the aggressiveness. I am liking the quick decisiveness that we're seeing from CG. Not wasting any time. They make a decision. Yeah, maybe they might waste some time on the side of V6, But once they make a decision on which site they want to go to, there is no waste. There is no util that is being thrown out for no reason. Everything is being put down for a reason. And I'm really, really liking when we get to see the side of Cataclysm.
Yeah, as a side note though, you know, they use the V6 Academy used that lockdown and last all the area of effect for it. It didn't completely cover the back of yellow, and that's why the lockdown is so useful on Icebox. I talk and CG just to get a bunch of kills. But I mean, V6 Academy, they know that this is a save round for them. Of course they know because they're saving. And they wanted to play aggressive. They take that gamble. They challenge them through build, through build, and they all die. But yeah, a side note about the KJ lockdown there. Also, another note to add onto your note about the way that CG are playing. It's not. Oh, that's kind of nice.
That was kind of nice.
I was like
little Viper on Viper action there. But yeah, your point that you were on the sugar.
No, the Grimmer, he did a nice lineup. You'll have to see. I'll probably go back and
watch the mod back. Yeah.
But I was saying for CG, it's not necessarily that they're playing like fast or anything like that. It's them making like decisions, and that's when even when they were playing slow against, whenever they tried to make a decision, they stuttered and they didn't fully commit to it. And in a game against V6 Academy, who won the first map of Bind, they faced some setbacks CG, and they get into their own heads and they start to overthink. This time it's like, okay, well, we're going to take the pace slow. We're going to fill out the map a little bit. Wait for V6 Academy to make a mistake. They make that mistake. We're still going to take it slow. We're still going to fill out the sites. We're still going to fill out the space. And then they'll take it whenever they want to. Because V6 Academy can't do anything about it. See, the KJ utility now, it's not set up on B. The main site to be pushed so far and that has been successful for CG has been the A site. And so they've rotated the utility from mid towards A. And again, CG, they're eyeing up this opportunity.
Yeah, eyeing it up, but once again, a lot of util put down here is actually it's going to be a little question mark here because you do have Sam on the other side of the map, so I think they might have actually recalled it. Can't really tell off the drop here, but here we go. CG making their move and making it quick. Like I was saying the last round, this is what I like to see from CG when they get aggressive like this, when they are confident in their plays. Nightfall coming out is going to be helping out Showstopper as well. Havoc picking up a huge couple of kills there. Danny for one for himself. So a couple of trades coming out. Leo though with that tour de force. C'est bon, but cannot get it done. Havoc with a 3K that round. V6 will keep this within 3. Still, Cataclysm take this lead. They hold on to this lead for now. This map ain't done yet. Lots of time to go. Round number 10 coming through right now. We'll have to see what the plan is here. The L plan from Cataclysm. I'm curious. That one looked really good at first, but V6 just they seem to have the answers to that A push.
Yeah, no, there was some ultimate twos in this one from CG. I believe it was the Hunter's Fury as well to create some space. Or not create space, but create time for CG. Just knock off or waste time on a retake from screens from Heaven, from V6 Academy, and also the no command, and that's why the KJ utility couldn't have been used. Just like how the Breach utility behind yellow is not going to be able to use. They're making good use of these nice CG, but they're not winning the fight. And the KJ utility is able to not really find anything, but it's activated. Leo finds 2, but still, I mean, the damage has already been done from there. Unless V6 Academy do a Tom Brady type throw, this round is over for Leozen.
Hey, it's Leo, man. They can do whatever they possibly want. That was funny though. I was like, Danny. Going through the whole ring of emotions there. But let's see if Leo can clutch this one out though. It's gonna be tight though. I think might actually have to drop here on Havoc. Needs to watch out for this one. No. Keep your sights where they were. No, Leo. Havoc will swing around the back of that B site again. In they come, another round for V6 Academy. It is still 6-4 for Cataclysm as they hold on to that lead. But big one is this round, you do have Muffin Man with that Viper's Pit available. And I am very interested to see if they're gonna go ahead and use that on this A site. It is really, really good. Honestly, both sites. Viper Spit is fantastic on Icebox. So I want to see if they're gonna go ahead and utilize that right off the drop. Maybe hold on to it for a little while until the spike is actually down, and then wait for that retake. So a lot of questions in a short amount of time that we are probably gonna get answered in a very short amount of time. V6 Melly going to be suppressed on up there, so pushing back towards that A site, trying to hold on for some safety. You do have Leo, playing that tube, and smartly so. That turret is not too far away from them, so if they do decide to peek on out, go a little bit too forward, they will get spotted out by the KJ Util. But the 4 other members of Cataclysm now pushing their way on to the A site. You see the angles currently being held by Havoc and Melly. Leo, though, finds a kill on to Sam. Will shrink the numbers down just a little bit. And KJ Util also going to be gone. Let's see what the play is going to be here. Danny swinging around. Leo ready and waiting to go. V6 Academy losing 2 of their members. And this is where we get to see Cataclysm making their moves. They're going to be moving right now. Is it going to be A? Is it going to be B? I don't know. I'm watching Muffman right now. They're kind of in and out the door. It's like, okay, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yoon, though, finds a kill. Yoon finds 2.
Mid.
Things are all tied up all of a sudden. Melly tries to go for Leo, but Leo will come out on top. Yuno finds a kill on to Yuno. Havoc has somehow acquired an operator here. Let's see if they can do it. Just spray through the wall. Oh my gosh, it's so tough when we're on this end of it and we can see it's like, oh, you got the crosshairs on him. Oh, he's got 5 HP, but no. Through and through again. Havoc is making some magic happen, but Leo will not let them claim this round with 5 HP. They win the Hunger Games this time. It's 7-4 for Cataclysm, and we got 1 more round before things switch around.
What is it about, like, Icebox and Leo? Like, what is it about this map for him? Because every time he's on, like, Icebox, the game, he's just breaking the ice. He's just doing everything for CG. That round, he gets the opener, and at the end of it, he gets the closer. I mean, again, that kill over by Tube, probably at that point, because you just saw CG light bulb, not exploded, but lit up at the top of their head as they take the time out here before we get into the halftime switch. Once Leo got that kill through Tube, killed the KJ, calls it out to his teammates, everybody's just like, okay, we're going for a B hit, most definitely. Why? Because they knew that if KJ's in mid, if KJ's in mid or positioned near B, that the KJ utility has to be in B. And they know that if the KJ's down, then the KJ utility's down, and they can just attack B free. Because there's only 1 player there. They know where V6 Academy are positioned at, and at that moment, KJ dies, everything dies. And that's kind of like that's the upside and downside of KJ, because like she's a great agent, sure, but like you depend on her so much for your defense. It usually is so good at like thwarting pushes and making attackers not even push into certain areas where they know KJ usually is at. But once they kill them, it's game over for the defense. Now the toxic pick comes out from the Viper on the side of V6 Academy, and this could delay a lot of time, but also CG can just take the ropes, but Havoc is there watching. Smart play from him.
Yeah, Havoc held that down. Leo, though, with some op shots, a little 2-4 action. Yes, let's go, baby. 1 for 1 so far on the board. And yeah, like you were mentioning about Leo, in the chill zone right now. You remember how Kevbo was when we came back after map 2? Yeah, that's Leo on this map. Just absolutely zen. So let's see if they can make more happen. Cataclysm does pick off another member of the V6 Academy here, so it's 4v3. You see those flashes coming on through. See if anybody can be found in the back here. Yuno with a showstopper does find Melly. And you have Leo again watching the flank angles, but it's only Danny left, and they're all the way pushed to the back of this A site. 3 members of Cataclysm are pushing on in, and Leo lines it up. Hook, line, and sinker, baby. That's another pick off there. 8-4 for Cataclysm before the switch, and now we get to see another pistol round. More importantly, how V6 are going to execute on this attacker side.
Let's see. big question mark is obviously going to again be that breach, and also the KJ, because KJ's not really that great for on the attack when it comes to her setting up her teammates for sight. You think of like what Sage brings to the table on the attack for a map like Icebox. You know, Chambers gives you the opportunity to contest neutral zones. For KJ, she has the ability to help you execute onto site with her barrier orbs, and then her slow orbs are really good for post play. KJ only has her nano swarms and her turret or her alarm bot to hold mid, but her nano swarms are really good for the post play as well. But what does a breach bring to the table here? Gets the first pick onto Havoc. CG leading on the attack, leading in this round.
I love that push there. They're just beating on the poor little bomb buddy there. But CG, more importantly, is just beating on V6 this pistol round. A flawless for them. And making it look like it's just as easy as breathing on that one. Though, I'll see if they can do that again. It is going to, for V6, unfortunately, going to be a save round for them. So, again, that is kind of the way she goes when you lose that first pistol round. You kind of get caught in a little bit of a situation where you are going to be in some tough rounds the next couple ones. So let's see. Melly does pick up a stinger there. Well, thinking about picking up a stinger, but maybe the team said no. We got to save save your credits for a little while longer. So tough one for V6 ahead. Especially the fact that Danny just lost a grapefruit-sized hole out of their body. That is one member of V6 down. Make it two as Leo is just going off here. Havoc, though, is the new sheriff, and down will pick a kill onto Yuno. But Grim up the man, and hey, surprise, surprise, it's Leo again with the 3K. 10-4 for Cataclysm. They're looking to close things out here. Secure, well, I mean, it's already secured at this point. They're second place seed, but hey, just a little foundation there going into playoffs here. It is going to be big seeing how Cataclysm can come together. They've definitely been looking strong. They're definitely a top team for a reason. But I'm just excited to see, once we get those cross-group playoff matches going, it's going to be so spicy. But for now, they got to finish off this one. Our final match of this week, of week 6 of the fall split here, of regulation here, is going to be going quite fast here. Sam with some glorious aim on the had him lined up. Muffin Man, though, catches that raise coming around the corner, but Havoc gets the drop on him first. It's going to be another kill for V6. It's 4-3 and 9. Hardly lurking around the tube right now. Spike is going to be going down. Wait a minute. Gets denied for a little bit. Leo picks a kill on Havoc. It's 3v2. GG. Might be able to get this one back, but Danny with some nice aim. 1v2. And once again, guess who it is? In their chill zone, picking up a Phantom. Sugar, if there's anybody who can do this, it's our boy Leo right now. Let's see if the chill zone is truly chilled out here, and if they can just clutch this incredible aim that they are going to need to have here. Because again, you see V6 here lined up, Danny and Yoon ready to swing around as soon as that spike is going to be touched. Util comes through. Leo, though, playing it nice and slow. Picks up Yoon. Do it again, baby. No, they cannot. Danny gets the drop on him first. A nice headshot for them. And that is a round for V6.
Yeah, even if Leo got that kill, I don't think there would have been enough time on a spike anyways. Also timing there from V6 Academy. They tried to time the fault line with the Viper Molly, and Leo moves out of the way as soon as that happens. I don't think that was intention. I just think he just happened to move out of the way at the same time that the fault line and Molly went out. And I guess that's what they want to kind of do, try and combo the utility, whether it be with the breach or the Viper, or the breach, or the raise. Hopefully they can find some rounds due to this, because I want to find a way to see if the breach can work on Icebox, because it is such a off-putting pick to me, the fault line coming through as well as the prowler going out. Flash is going to be sent in the middle of the A site to stun these players, and A site only has one player in there, and it's But now he's back
it's their time to step on out, but realistically, shoved on completely out of the site is going to be forced all the way to the stairs at the back of that site, and has no idea that there's a member of Cataclysm right underneath their feet, but 9 is lighting it up, getting a couple picks of their own. Melly will be able to get a pick onto Muffin Man. You know, sends it right on back. And it's once again just Dan the Man left alone by themselves. A little flash is going to be coming through. They try to whip around. Does get some tags on to 9 there. See again, another flash. Oh, wait, that's the fall line coming through. Danny with 2. Just needs one more. That spike isn't down quite yet, though. Running out of time. 27 seconds left on the board. And Yuno is there. Why not just go for the play? Oh, no. Yuno knows where they are. They know exactly where they are. And maybe this was all a bait. Maybe sending Yuno back on over to this B site. Oh my God, this is gonna be insane. Yuno thinks that that Danny is around on the back end of B. 5 seconds remaining. Does Danny have the time? 2, 1, 0 with 0.23 seconds left on the board. Holy crap, he couldn't have called it any closer. The spike will go down. And now we've got ourselves a spicy little 1v1. Rolling Thunder is available though for Danny.
Oh, he's getting flanked. And he doesn't know that he's getting flanked. Yep, he does not know that he's getting flanked.
Oh, no.
Guess
Oh,
what?
no.
You know you threw that so hard. You know.
That's what you get for trying to knife somebody. Tries to go for the fancy plays, and damn, hey, guess what? If it worked, that would have been super duper sick. But unfortunately, no. Danny had a feeling. It was probably in the team comms were like, they're right behind me, aren't they? Flicks around, sees the knife out, and says, "Yeah, no, nobody." Oh my God, Sugar.
I'm trying to find a way. The collapse happened through that double kill through mid, supported by the fault line used from Danny. And he finds a 2K from one of them literally just standing there, but also the lineup coming in from the second player of Leo. CG do find an opener in this round, and they are on a save, but they also do have a victim in the hands of Leo. But still, they're going to clear off the site pretty easily with Yuno finding the first pick on the retakes. V6 Academy are trailing in numbers, but they still have the better guns. They also have an ultimate line.
See a couple more trades coming on through. Let's see as CG knocks down almost everybody. No, sorry, it's V6 knocking down almost everybody. I say almost. It is everybody. V6 pull back yet another round. They make it 7-10. It's within 3 right now. And my God, potentially one overzealous, overconfident, maybe a little extra cheeky play from Yuno there. Got to put them into this position. Still, though, you got some buffer zone between these two teams. CG still lead by 3, but the buys coming through from CG much more forced. You can see the econ is definitely on the lower end here, but my eyes are going to be on Leo once again, holding on to that off. Going to be watching down. I believe they are watching down B long, if I am correct. Yep, just in case. But in come V6, they are playing the tube right now, at least for now. I'm a little curious to see where they're gonna go. Peeling back towards that A site, though, you do have 9 is watching out for this rotation. We're gonna see the breach util being used to at least make their entrance here. So CG are gonna know where the majority of these V6 Academy players are. Nightfall comes through as well too, and they're gonna answer back with utility of their own. Paint shells popped as well. Muffman finds a kill. That's gonna be the Hunter's Fury used as well, and Grim picks up a kill onto Yoon. They shave down these V6, so just 3 members remaining. Havoc, Melly, Danny are left. Danny will get the plant on down, but Leo with the off shot onto Melly. Now the swings will come through. Danny cannot make it happen this time. Showstopper though from Yuno. Send it to the back, baby. That's gonna be the show, at least for this round. CG get the defuse. It's gonna be 11-7 for them, and they are 2 rounds out from claiming this series.
Each player getting a kill. Teammates. And now CG, they only need 1 round to put themselves onto matching serious point. V6 Academy, though, I mean, that wasn't like a bad try to get inside of the site. The way that it happened, it just so happened that they didn't really find the picks that they needed, and they trolled when it came to them entering the site. They tried to use the flash points. They used the Rolling Thunder to clear site completely, and they did just that, but again, it's just them losing bodies on the way in that really screwed them up, and they didn't have enough bodies, not nearly enough bodies to hold onto a post plant on that ace site. Now again, V6 Academy, they have, well, now they know that the op, because it has been fired towards Danny, the op is now over by Leo, who is on top of yellow at the moment. Fault line being sent to him, but it doesn't hit because it's, well, way off the mark, and he's not anywhere near it. The lockdown going to be used, though, to create some space inside of the site.
Oh my god, ults
it does
plenty.
that.
Yeah, ults util plenty being used on this A site now, as Havoc even going to be throwing the bomb buddy out. Does get spotted out by 9, but in come V6. CG now playing for the retake. It's 5v5. That Viper's Pit is out. A little bit of suppression being tossed on into Melly on half a health bar. Could be tough here. 2 people get suppressed here, and through the Viper's Pit, Grim and Yuno going to be able to find a kill apiece. Here they go for some more 3v5. Can V6 clutch this one out? No, Yuno just stuffs a barrel into Yoon's face and says, yeah, see you later, pal. CG only lose 1. Leo gets the defuse, and we move to match point. We move to series point right here, right now. Cataclysm have been playing their game, and this is something I asked for the past 3 weeks. This is the Cataclysm. When I see them play like this, I'm like, okay, this is why they're second place team, because they can pull this stuff off. They get super, super well situated with each other. And again, you see that util use all combined is just so well used and able to swing around it. It's just incredible. Incredible stuff to watch.
But no, we'll see what V6 Academy has under their belt. They've only taken like 1 timeout of 3 maps. There may be like maybe 2 timeouts across 3 maps. But again, they haven't been timeouts where in situations like they're losing right now, and this would be a great time to call timeout to calm up their hands or calm down their heads. Havoc finds the first pick, 9 dies, but Grimmer finds the quick trade back. Damn, though, finds with Leon responding just as quickly by Snowman. Danny kills him.
This could be it right here, though, Sugar. This could be it right here, right now. The spike goes down. So will Yoon. And it is in the hands of Melly. And he goes down. The hands are not there. Cataclysm, bring it home. Have an amazing map here on Icebox. And we'll clutch the series 2-1 with that reverse sweep. Wow. Incredible, incredible stuff. Crazy games from our VLS players once again. It is always just bonkers to see how these guys operate their champions, how they operate around these maps. I love it every single time. But congratulations to Cataclysm on finding the dub.
GG's, guys.
You made it. You made it. You made it.
Tebo, you're still muted. Hold on, maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll get through. Hey!
Well, I was talking about having been banished to the Shadow Realm. Apparently, my voice and my camera has also banished me to the Shadow Realm. Unfortunately, everything goes wrong for V6 and for Kebbo. Backed my bets a little bit too much there. Thought I was the prediction master and said we are sticking to our true main in the Blitzcrank. I am an absolute bot. Phenomenal series, though. It was really close until it wasn't. Skara, shout out. Still a phenomenal series and a really well played, especially map 3 by CG here in the end.
I was honestly, we had some good back and forth, but I think I mentioned it in one of the final rounds there. When CG are able to light it up, when they're able to play confidently and off each other like that and use their util in such, I don't want to call it completely chaotic because it is planned. There is a reason for where they're putting their stuff. But when they're able to play on top of that and also get the swings going and also be able to cover the corners, that's the second place team that I love to see. That is why CG is up there in the standings. That is why they are second seed going into the playoffs. So huge congratulations. But I don't want to count V6 out. Unfortunately, their season does end tonight, but always an entertaining team to cast because of all the crazy stuff that they like to pull out, all those weird angles that they like to play, and it makes it quite spicy. So much respect to V6 for putting on a good show for us tonight.
Yeah, I do want to add on to that as well because I initially thought that this would be a clean game from CG, but V6 Academy, they made them work for it. They wanted playoffs just as much as CG wanted to end the season off on a high, and they ended off on a chaotic high. But V6 Academy made it chaotic, and you got to give them props. I want to put my head up and my hand up, and I want to apologize because I didn't want to. I kind of underestimated V6 Academy based on their inconsistent results, but if that's how they play in a game against the second seed of Group B, hopefully they come back next season and show us improvements and what they're actually made of because they gave us a hell of a game. Extremely proud of them.
Yeah. And one final point, we do have an MVP poll going on. Should be actually about a couple minutes left on it by the time you guys see this. So make sure to get your votes in. Let us know who you think deserves that MVP off the side of Cataclysm, the winning team tonight. But yeah, V6, I would love to see V6 back. Again, getting to meet them was so super duper cool. Great group, a great team. It was honestly a pleasure getting to meet them and then getting to cast them as well too. So shout out to them. I'm really hoping that we see them again because they've got a lot of promise. They got some damn good hands up there. Don't get me wrong; these guys have got some hands of their own. But yeah, I'm hoping to see them come back a little bit stronger, a little bit more cohesive to deal with these big, massive teams that have just got all the works.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they continue to improve and add pools to their map pool, that they're as good as they were on Bind, they will really show up in the next split. You got a pretty long break until the winter split, just because we want to give everyone a little bit of a rest. However, still, I think you all said it perfectly. Like an absolutely phenomenal showing from them. Especially from the match history and what I saw in the map pools, it looked like it was going to be a close match. Just not able to pull it out in the end. It's a unfortunate way to end the season, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have seeing them go out like that. I think it could have been much worse. If you just got slammed there, and that's how you end your season, would be very unfortunate. But we are getting ready to do the MVP votes. Let's get those in super quick. Anyone got any thoughts there?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough to pick.
Leosin, yeah, I feel like Leosin. I'm sorry, I keep calling him that, and that's not how you pronounce his name. But Leo, he had two great maps. He had a good Haven, where he was very instrumental in getting opening picks, especially when he got an operator in his hand. And CG, when he got an operator in his hand, CG had the opportunity to contest some of those neutral areas on Haven. Same thing with Icebox, but CG kind of just stepped it up a little bit more with like the consistency, and so did Leo, who was able to get like a lot of in that round. Stepped it up on map 3, but I don't want to give it performance based on one map, but he did have a good map 3. I want to give him. Grimmer was consistently good throughout the whole series, but I think it's only fair that after the two maps that we saw, that he does tonight.
Oh,
Oh.
Sugar, you there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just losing it. A little bit of cutout, but that's yeah, the way
Oh,
technology
I said
is.
I think that after the two maps that we had from Haven and
Yeah.
Icebox, right? That I think Leo does deserve the MVP because he was very influential as to how those maps shaped out for CG.
Yeah. We are getting close to the conclusion here, Gurf.
It's a sorry, someone's blasting absolutely mad music out here. That's super duper loud. So I do apologize if that's coming through. A lot of this, I think tonight we got to look towards a very special person, and that is the Grim Reaper, who was out for some heads tonight. Grim got it done. A lot of those clutch moments was able to bring it home, especially just again securing information for their team. That Sova was really, really pivotal in terms of, okay, either you guys are here or over here. Just the lineups that they're able to pull off. So obtaining that information is as low and minimal risk as possible. That is something that Grim is extremely, extremely good at doing. But on top of that, we saw a couple moments, the double doinks out there tonight, which is nasty. So I was super impressed by how Grim was playing tonight, and I'm very happy to back them on my MVP vote. But everyone, honestly, at this level, VLS, I say it every week. Every single one of these players are absolutely mad cracked, and I am just. It's a privilege to be able to cast players at this caliber in Valorant. So shout out to everybody, but definitely Grim was standing out for me on the side of Cataclysm.
Yeah, I think that Grim showed up really big in game one, and they just weren't able to push it over the finish line. And then as Cataclysm continued to scale, just kept showing up. And like you said, the vision control with the Sova in the second or in the last two maps was absolutely insane. However, it was also Grimmer just with the clutch plays, the the double doinks as you called them, absolutely popping off, and just showing up when it mattered. I personally think that they had a better performance across the series. Obviously, if you look at the last game, Leo absolutely smurfed, absolutely popped off. But I think for a series MVP, I'm going to be backing Grimmer as well. As we get ready to wrap up this MVP poll. We have a little bit of a tie, so I think we'll figure out some tiebreaker situation.
No tie. No tie. We have tie.
Oh, no
I see no tie.
tie.
I see no
Someone
tie.
sniped it right at the end there. As we do get ready for our series MVP to be revealed with a graphic, I have one question for you all.
Mm.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Wait, that was my line, Kev. Come on, man. Hold on.
You know, the one that lives on Drury Lane?
Yeah, the Muffin Man. I know the Muffin Man.
Oh.
Well, okay. The real question is, who could do the best Gingy from Shrek? Maybe that might be the next poll that we throw up here. Do you know the Muffin Man?
I can't do it.
Yes,
I'm not. I can't do it. You know
gotta
what?
get in there
I do have
and
one
just like
thing though.
throttle your thorax, and apparently that is the trick. But jokes aside, yeah, we will have the MVP poll up in just a few short moments. I know I can see just the live trading on the sugar. Like, oh my god, I gotta be on the desk with these two goofs tonight. These guys are just mad goofing out here, but it's okay. We're having fun. We will have that available in just a second for our MVP screen, but I do want to take some time to just, recognize some of the players on V6 Academy as well too. With I do believe this was their first split with us officially in VLS. Pretty damn good showing, if I do say so myself. Like, you got a lot of talented players on this team, a lot of foundations that can be built upon. Like, I love the fact, and I mentioned it too in game, that we get to see Danny doing these crazy, setting up in the most random, crazy places that, again, it worked on map one, right? You just don't expect people to be there, and Danny got away with a lot of crazy stuff tonight. Same with Havoc, like they were really going ham on some of those flanks, and again, when it worked really, really well. I think CG started to catch on, and we're expecting some more of those flanks. But yeah, V6 looked like an incredible team. I'm really hoping we get to see more of them because, again, they've got a lot of potential. Melly has always been solid as the captain, and then I think Yoon coming in to fill in for EK really filled in some big boots and did more than that today. And Sam was really, really good. And same thing at the beginning of the series, I was a little worried. I'm like, Gia plays an incredible Viper. That is a huge hole to fill, especially the fact we saw an Icebox tonight. But Sam stepped up tonight, did it incredibly well too for V6. So I just wanted to shout out those players for still playing their hearts out tonight on these maps that we got to see.
Yeah, they really did try to push it and see if they could make a playoff berth at the end. Though it will be going to Cataclysm Gaming, and to your MVP, the Muffin Man themselves. 31 of 40 and 26 in the series. An absolutely phenomenal series from them.
All right, now do we do the line officially? Do I start? I'll start. I got to do it.
I'm gonna be honest,
Chat requested it.
I'm
They
gonna be honest,
requested
sir,
it.
I don't know the whole thing. I'm not a true fan.
We'll just do the three back and forth. Right? Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man! There you go. There you go, chat. You got your kicks. Find my PayPal later. But congratulations to Cataclysm Muffin Man. Honestly, pretty posted some pretty damn good numbers here tonight. Nothing to be scoffed at. And yeah, shout out to Twitch chat for actually giving us some votes tonight. I love to see when Twitch chat does get involved with us too.
Well, with that, I just want to know if we have any concluding thoughts from my casters here. Sugar, let's start with you.
I'm excited for playoffs. I'm sad that V6 Academy do get to miss that, but I'm excited for the teams that have qualified, and it's going to be a good end to the season.
Sure.
I'm so fired up for playoffs already. I'm actually taking a peek at the bracket right now. Boomers and Zoomers versus Team Syndicate. Cataclysm Gaming versus Team Flare. Akuma Esports versus Team Coruscant. I think. I better get correct pronunciation on that before we have them on stream. And Colossal Gaming versus Diplomax Gaming are going to be our 4 quarterfinals setups here. Best of 5s, I do believe we are heading into. So it does make it quite a different game when we see an extra 2 games potentially being added here. It can really spice things up. Of course, we get to see a lot more maps, so the potential for Fracture and Pearl, I push Fracture a little bit over that way because I'm not a huge fan of how difficult it is to play that B site. But Pearl, oh boy, would I love to see some Pearl this playoffs. Absolutely. Please, one of these teams, if you're on stream, I'm begging, please. I just want to see it. It's super cool. Anyways, shout out to all our teams who did join us for this split and put up some amazing games for us to cast. And we hope to see you all back again in the winter split. So keep an eye out for when registration opens back up, because we would love to have you here. Sublevel VLS, the caliber of these players are at is honestly mind-boggling, to say the least. I don't know where they get their hands, but I one day, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm past my prime, to be completely honest. But huge shout out to everybody too who tuned in tonight and gave us some support on the Twitch. We love you.
You're good. Looked like you were maybe wanting to say something there. No? Just get ready. With that, thank you all, like Gurf said, for tuning in. I'm really glad to be here and have hosted my first Valorant series. Absolute banger series from both teams. Be sure to check out the rest of the Victoris content that goes on throughout the week. You can catch myself back here tomorrow for VTS, I believe. Gurf the Smurf producing. On that note, also shout out to Sackman for producing tonight, an absolute Smurf in their own right. But be sure to check all of us out at our ats down below. Be sure to check out the Discord if you get a chance. There's always something going on. There's always some action to be had. And with that, I think we're ready to hit you all with the send off. We're ready for the playouts. I don't know what this is. But,
who knows?
Robots coming out. Kevbo shall re-enter the Blitzcrank form because the Sage did not come through. With that, we shall see you all back here next week. We will be starting a little bit earlier because we are going to be in those best of 5, so be sure to keep that in mind. With that, see ya!
Peace!